And we are live. How's it going?
Hey.
Hello, everyone.
It's going
Good
well.
evening.
Everyone sounds so upbeat for a Monday night.
I'm very tired, Lola.
I'm smiling, Lola. See?
I am too. Look, see.
We also have Makini join us.
Hey, what's up, Makini?
Makini, how you doing, sir?
Makini.
Makini.
My mic wasn't on at that time.
How
Anyway.
dare you?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. My name is
Alright.
Marky
Oh.
Nighty, artist and illustrator, and we welcome you to Lola After Midnight. Happy to be here.
Damn.
With the always erotic stylings of Makini.
Oh yeah.
Very
You know
That was a
Makini's
great-
probably got some up his sleeve for us to do.
Gotta give you the intro. You gotta give you that classic. Gotta give that flavor.
So backstage, I was being highly complimented by our good friend Clayton here. So that put me in a good mood.
Hey!
Interrogated is what I call it.
No,
I was
but
getting to know Will.
Irrigated.
he was saying nice things to me. So
No,
now he was
there
buttering me up. Now I'm in a good mood and I'm
He's trying to
ready.
warm you up. He's
Yeah.
There was a washcloth and a bucket of water. I don't know what that was about. Weird.
It's like we were in a Roman bathhouse, right? We're talking
Yeah.
business and other things.
I know, right?
Well, I'm
Let
sure I
me-
won't be the only one who notices that you don't have a beard today.
Well,
Can-
like I said,
Hey, I have a beard.
don't get used to it because it's going to come back.
Hmm.
So,
How come you
Every
got
once
rid
in a
of
while
it?
you gotta change it up though, right?
well, I did it for the same reason most men do anything. I did it for a woman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it gets to the point where they're like, they kind of squirm a little bit when you go to kiss them, and you're like,
Exactly.
oh shit, it's that time of month.
I'm a little tired.
Not that time of month. It's the time of month where you shave your beard.
Or they've never seen you without it, and they're like, I'm curious. And you come by and they go, oh, look at you. I've seen you.
Wasn't it Samson that cut his hair, lost his
Yeah.
strength?
And I lost all my power.
There you go, Will. Big mistake. All for a
But
win.
you
mistake.
look good without a beard. Like if
The
I shave,
power is in the
if I
beard.
shave, my face
in the
becomes
beard.
round. It doesn't look beautiful anymore. I look
Are
like
you-
an egghead or something.
Well, some people like George Lucas. You've seen George Lucas with his beard where he like artificially creates a chin
Yeah, that's
'Cause
what
he
I
has-
do.
because he has a jowls. You've seen George Lucas where he has those jowls.
Oh yeah.
Like he's got that line that just comes across down here, but it's like just goes straight down.
Yeah.
Here's a question though. Like, as a female that doesn't have like the whole beard issue, it seems like when guys shave off their beards that they look younger. Am I wrong on that?
I don't know. Do I look younger?
Usually they do.
Very true. Yeah.
I don't know.
look
Like if
like-
I shave my beard off, I do look like I'm like 12, except for the luggage under my eyes.
So the beard is what gives you your age and like grace, right?
And wisdom, yes.
It gives us our masculinity,
Yes.
like Samson, as we just said. Except I don't have dreadlocks or anything.
No, can't all be,
But I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know. I'm 39. Do I look 39? I don't know. Maybe I look 45.
I thought you were younger than that. I thought you were a lot younger than me.
Well, thank you, Jason. That's nice of you. Just see, everyone's so nice to me tonight. I appreciate it.
I'm just being honest, man.
It's because
Like
we love you,
35.
Will. You're awesome.
It's
Well,
easy to
thank you.
lie to you, is all it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take lies as well. I mean, go for it.
No, being honest. Man.
Okay.
Yeah, you and Clayton were getting acquainted because I don't think y'all met really.
I mean, we've caught each other in passing, and so. But Clayton was asking me about my job for Frege, and my job for Frege is, as I was saying to Clayton, I'm basically his pro consul. I'm his head of story. I handle the Incredible Comics universe. I wrote the Bible to the Incredible Comics universe. If I'm not writing it, I'm finding the guy to write it. So the buck stops here in terms of story. I mean, everything is approved by Frege. Nothing gets past Frege. But with me there, he doesn't actually have to like switch sides of the brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as we both know, writing takes a bit thinking,
Unless
It
you
does.
pretend to do it like me.
We can't all be cool like you. We can't be an auteur like you.
Randomly
Jason.
hit keys and words come out. Yeah.
Grimmer says even with a beard, Will looks young. So
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, even when he had his beard, I thought he was younger than I was.
I'll take it. It's better than
Good
looking
enough
like
for you.
an old fart.
Michael.
Well, I haven't quite dropped certain parts of my anatomy, Michael T. So I'm still waiting.
No.
Okay.
Will.
I think I'm ready.
For what?
We've been live for about 5 minutes.
Can you blow? No. Can you blow my screen up?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Big in here.
Yeah.
It's
He thought he was
for
saying
me.
he was ready to stream.
Yeah, we got to start over. Lola, just take us all back out.
No,
Do it again.
There you go.
All right,
Morgan.
and
What are you drawing?
boom.
Oh,
Wow.
they're colored.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
look at that
I like
booty.
that.
Time me into it. Yeah.
That's a
yeah.
very
I
nice
even
start.
made it so like water's dropping all over from her.
I think this is one of my favorite ones by yours.
The water
That is
looks great.
juicy.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
like
it's definitely
seriously.
my favorite.
Yeah, you got the AAT, but the colors, the angle, I mean, the proportions. I think this is my favorite one.
Who do you think you are, Dan Plagle?
Thank you.
We need a
Plague
Dan
of booties.
here. Where's he at?
Thank you.
He's working, Lola.
Oh yeah.
Well,
This
her
is- this
chest
is-
needs to be a bit bigger if he's
Not
going to take
answering
on
my
Dan
text
Plagle.
messages.
This is one of rocking me to 1K on Twitter,
Oh, thank you.
and people love it. So I'm like, okay, I'm just about done with this one. So
Yeah, like
it's like a
that was my
little more
favorite one, so far.
work. It's a little more work though.
Mm.
Plus, I got my arsenal out is already. Let me open up. Open my.
Mackany, have you been coming to Frega June?
I have not. I've been watching. I've been watching in the back though.
Okay,
Oh,
cool,
that's-
man. Glad you're there.
Okay.
I don't need to. But yeah, this,
I put it away.
Right.
The one that I did.
this is
tonight.
all my color arsenal right here. Which,
Jeez.
Very nice.
yeah, all the diversity you could ever ask for.
Yeah, I dig it, man. Mm.
Mhm.
Mine's a little messier. Just a little.
So, Lola,
Yes.
what do you have for the stack of stuff?
Ooh, what do we
Anything?
got
Okay.
tonight? What's going on tonight?
I've got all kinds of weird stuff pulled up.
Ooh, okay.
Well, hit me with it.
Hit us.
Samsung's weird stretching wearable screen looks way too cyberpunk.
Wait, what?
What do you think?
Stretching screen.
Yeah, you wear it.
Whoa.
Wait, is it like it conforms to your is it like spandex?
It says it's a smartwatch without the watch.
A smart
Oh,
watch without
I
the
thought it was-
watch.
I thought it was like a screen you wear all over your body.
No, like you can put it on your arm or your wrist, and
I'd like it to be on my entire
It-
body.
it's a fitness tracker. But would you wear that?
Is that an
No.
implant? What is it?
It's ginormous. It kind of looks like a pill. Like a horse
It looks
pill.
like
yeah, there's a pill.
you know what it looks like? It looks like that. What was that robot about the little? What was that show about the little girl robot that had like the pull down panel in her back?
Oh, what was that? Yeah, that little TV show from the 80s.
You know what I'm talking
Right?
about, Lola?
Lola's an infant. She doesn't know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
She's an infant.
Oh wow.
I'm not.
A small
You're
wonder.
like 10
Small
years
wonder.
younger than me. Come on.
Jason, Small Wonder. That's what it's called.
That's what it is. Yeah, small wonder.
It reminds me of, I don't know, because that always creeped the shit out of me in Small Wonder when you turn her around and open her back. I was like, that really
That was
disconcerted me.
scary. Yeah, that was scary. No, I don't really wear like watches or jewelry anyway.
Do any of
So-
y'all do the smartwatch or the fitness trackers?
Yes, I do.
Only when I do fitness, I have like
only
a little
only
like
when I
dumb
do my
one.
morning walks mainly.
Yeah.
But would
But-
you wear this? Would
No.
you wear this?
No, no, absolutely not.
What about you, Clayton?
No, I wouldn't. I don't think I would. I mean, I'm so old school now that I don't have a fitness tracker. You know, I do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah,
Yeah, you just
Right.
watch TV.
just count those push-ups.
How many
And then-
push-ups are you up to, Clayton?
I'm almost up to 20 straight, and then and then I got to 26 or 8 the other night. So I'm getting there. I'm getting stronger. I can feel the muscles building.
I do 30 sit-ups before I go to bed. I mean,
That's
but
good.
most of my exercise goes to walking. My morning walks, which can range from like 3 to 5 miles
I
a day.
I eat
Whoa.
30 ice cream bars before bed. Is that?
I don't know if that counts as would that count as an exercise?
I mean, you're working your arm muscles. man.
Yeah, he's doing curls.
Yeah. See, Will's got me.
I got more people in my chat now.
There's a chat.
How many people are in the chat?
Frog G,
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Woodrow?
There's a Woodrow,
Chris Stanley,
Chris Stanley,
Hey, what's up?
Michael T. Is my
Sugar Chris,
Sugar, the red dress king.
Froggy.
Hell, the
Fucking
frog.
The Uber mod. Frog G is just like, dude, he's a straight G.
Yeah,
man.
he.
Thanks,
yeah,
Frog G.
Yeah, wrench the frog. Mod the frog. Mod
Yeah,
the
did you
frog.
mod the frog?
Frog.
Oh yeah,
Check
she
the
Yeah,
mod.
the frog
algorithm,
is
smash
modded.
the like, ding the bell. Yep, I like that.
Am I modded?
Do you need to be?
I don't know.
I don't know,
'cause
are
I'm
you?
cool. I'm never in your chat, but I'm cool. You know, I'd be
I was
cool
gonna
to
say-
be
Jeremy,
modded.
Hey, Jeremy, what's going on, man?
I just like to collect wrenches.
We'll say something in the chat. Well, she can mod you if she wants.
Okay, I'm gonna say wrench me.
Don't
There.
wrench him. Don't. Do it.
Sugar Chris
You're
says
real
15-year-old
good.
boys on the TV shows from the 80s. I'm not a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah,
13.
Lola, what are you like 18, 19?
I was thinking 12, but yeah.
I would never go back to being. Would y'all go back to being 18, 19 years old?
Fuck no.
No way.
Okay.
If it meant I could do some things over again, maybe.
I have reasons why I would and plenty why I wouldn't. It would that would be I probably would, but not for the reasons people might think.
Phil, I did it for the same reason we go into the gym and start our workout with, 9 tons when a woman walks by.
Mhm.
Exactly that.
So you found a woman. Will, tell us more.
A lovely woman.
How did you meet?
We met in the standard way that you meet people these days when you're
Online.
locked down. Exactly.
Online. Nice. That's the best
Actually,
way to meet.
I took a guess. I wasn't.
I was bumbling around.
I met the mother of my child that way.
No, there
Nothing
you
wrong
go.
with it.
Look at us now.
Bumbling around?
I was bumbling
Online.
around. Mhm.
So you were
Online,
like
yeah.
caveman, where you just knocked her over the head and just dragged her across the ground, like caveman.
No, because when you're bumbling around, they have to knock you over the head.
Okay.
So that's the kind of the interesting thing about bumbling around is that they got to knock you over the head.
Yeah, the women have the pick of the litter when it comes to the internet.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I didn't realize it worked that way. Tell me more.
Tell me more.
Go ahead, Will.
Tell me how bad I screwed up.
no, I mean, Tinder is essentially like the bowels of the internet, but then Bumble's a little bit more high
Serious
class because the women have to come to you.
Mhm.
So they, you swipe around, you get a hit, and then the woman has like 24 hours to talk to you.
Wait, the woman specifically has to come to you?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's cool.
So you just kind of wait around until they talk to you, and
Oh.
that's how I met this one. And
Nice.
she immediately attracted me because she had a "Make America Great" hat, and I'm like, okay, you got some balls on you. I like you.
Okay.
know?
So it was
cool.
a MAGA hat that caught your attention.
Immediately, yes, because that showed me she had big brass balls, So I was like, I like that one. Not literally, but
Mm.
you know.
You know you're going to get along. So where was the first date? Was it at some restaurant? Was it at a bar? Was it at
No.
one
Chuck E.
of your
Cheese's.
apartments?
It was at her home because right when we were going to
Nice.
go on a date, our lovely governor locked us down again.
Hmm.
Wait, are you in California?
No, we were in Oregon, so we weren't allowed
Okay.
to go on a date. So I had to meet her at her home.
And were you shaven the first time you met?
No, I was not.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
It's changing you already, man.
So, but then later on, as we were hugging a lot. She's like, "I'd like to see you without. I want to know what you look like with shave." So I said, "Okay." So about a month in, I said, "I'll do that for you."
You were kind of curious too. You were like, I can't remember what I look like.
No, I
shaved."
could not remember what I look like. No.
Yeah,
And-
It's like-
surprised me. You're like, this looks alright. Isn't that
Also,
bad
I'm
as
kinda
I-
curious.
I get that you make it sound like asking somebody to see them unshaved is like asking a woman to take her clothes off. It's just like,
Well, it is
It
kind
pretty
of
much
like
is. Yeah.
I haven't seen my own face in a while, and
Hmm.
I've been lifting weights for about a year, so I know my face has changed.
Nice.
And so it was kind of a surprise to me. I'm like, "Whoa, shit! Look what I look like. Weird."
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's
how long has it been?
that I've been seeing this person
Yeah.
a month exactly today. A month, yes.
Awesome.
Congratulations on that.
Congratulations, 1 month
Anniversary,
anniversary.
as Chicks would say.
Yay.
The ladies like marking them occasions like that. 1
Mhm.
month, yeah, 1 month anniversary. Yeah, no, stop, just stop. No. You gotta-
Frog G knows what's up about Kate Brown. That disgusting something that I can't say because we'll get struck if I say what I really think about her.
Oh,
What? I can't read this too
Well, I
far.
can't-
If I use the proper
I gotta move my head
ways
closer.
the proper
Come on.
nouns to describe a Kate Brown, I think we'll get struck.
mhm.
Ah,
As I was gonna say, Clayton, because you want to get back into working out, Will is your man. I would hit him up on Twitter to get some like exercising tips and vitamins and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Will.
I
is
will.
your-
nice.
Yeah.
I can do more than 30 push-ups. So,
How many can you do in a row without a break?
I mean, I only ever do 30, but I'm sure I could do probably 50 to 60. I think.
Dude, that's mad. I want to be like that. There's a Charlie Dunham guy who played Arthur, King Arthur.
Mhm.
Some people have mixed feelings about that movie, but to get into shape, he did like 1,000 push-ups a day,
That's
and
a lot.
that's
Yeah.
all he did to look like that. I'm like, man.
I mean, it is plyometrics. I mean, you're lifting your own weight,
Mhm.
and how many
then-
people can actually
Well,
lift their own weight?
A portion of your weight, because it's still cut because of the angle. But yeah,
But
Probably have
still,
to do
like if you're doing
Right.
pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, you're
Yeah,
just
still-
lifting your
yeah.
own weight. That's really difficult for most people to do.
and if you add weight on top of that,
Yeah.
you're just gonna keep building. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
that
back
would
to
take
this.
a while, right? Like 1,000
Yeah.
push-ups.
Oh yeah.
That would take a long time.
Oh yeah. I mean, he was probably spacing them throughout the day. He probably do like 100 in the morning. You know, he started with like 100 in the morning and 100 in mid-afternoon, and
Yep.
another 100 in the afternoon, then 100 at night, and then he would add probably. It took him a while probably, but he's
Gotcha.
also not that heavy. Maybe
Yeah, probably. He's like not a big guy. He's not like The Rock.
Right. But you also got to remember, guys, that actors, this is their job.
Yeah.
They have all day to do this.
Right.
You know, so we all go.
Ain't nobody
"Oh,
got time for that.
huh? What?
I said, ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, no, I mean, but if your job is to get ready, if somebody's paying you, I don't know, whatever much to get ready for a role, I mean, that's your job. Like Henry Cavill's job is to look like that for a movie.
Yeah. I'm saying like normal average people ain't got no time for that.
Yeah, well, you
yeah.
don't have. It's expensive to eat like that.
Yeah, the
You know what I
diet
mean?
is like the main thing.
Yeah,
It
like do you know how
really
many
is.
meals you're making? You don't have time to just cook. Like bodybuilders spend all their time cooking.
Mhm.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what. Yeah,
That's
I
a
don't want to.
commitment.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get bodybuilder type. But back when, like a few years back, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, when I was working out the most, it would be 3 days a week, 1 to 2 hours a day at the gym each time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was. I
And not only
loved
are
it.
you working out, dude, but you got to make time to eat. Like,
Yeah.
if you're really a serious bodybuilder, I'm not
Right, that's
bodybuilding,
right.
but you're eating 6 to 8 meals, and if you're not buying pre-made stuff, which is expensive, you're cooking a lot, man. That's a lot of time to
Yeah,
make all
that's
that
slow
shit.
cooker out.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't want to do bodybuilding type stuff. I just want to be healthy, you know.
Yeah, me too. I just want to be. I don't want to be fluffy. That's all.
Exactly.
I want to have some tonnage,
Yeah.
and that's
Well, I would
which
like
I
that.
got
but-
after like 10 push-ups. I was like,
Well-
ah, cool. That didn't take much.
I
but
just
you, Makani, you and Clayton are fairly young cats. It would be easier for you guys to really get in shape than somebody like me.
Yeah, I'm a
Chris
little
is-
smart.
I'm fat. Well, I'm
Ew.
a fat guy. It's just like for me, it's just I just want to live longer. That's basically it.
I just want to get out of a chair without going, you know.
Like me.
Yep.
But
What's
do you
next,
need this
Lola?
like piece of plastic connected to your body to tell you that you need to work out?
Why don't you
Mm.
fat ass tell yourself to work out?
It just doesn't look good. Like they haven't made it look
It doesn't.
It's ginormous. Like I said, I thought it was like a suit you wear. That would be
It
kinda
looks like a pimpin' ass band-aid.
I know, right?
Well, and
Give me-
also,
give me one of those scanners like of Dragon Ball Z that reads the power levels, and I'll buy it.
It's over 9,000.
Like,
Oh,
if
like,
they could
but-
give me one that would give me like a really badass superpower, then maybe.
no, just
Yeah,
schedule.
I think Clayton hit the nail on the head. I think this is a great tool if you're trying to measure somebody's power level.
Or just set a workout time. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
gonna work out at 9 a.m. You don't really need the thing.
It just it looks weird to me. I was like, what in the world?
A fitness
it's
tracker is
ginormous.
only really useful so you don't have to kill yourself jogging or running, so you know you're in kind of the
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
zone. You know what I mean?
Well, and what helps is that if you're walking and you walking, sometimes you forget it. Sometimes you go along, you're kind of just going your own zone.
Like
and
forget how far
have
you
the
go.
tracker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll check, you'll look down, check. It's like, oh wow, that's 3 miles. I didn't.
Well,
realize
yeah, because you got to walk back, so you don't want to overdo
Right.
it. And...
Yeah, that's why I don't really. That's why when I walk, I don't think about how many miles I need to achieve every day. I just pick a route. I just decide a route to walk and just go.
Or you don't want to kill yourself, right? Like if you're running, you don't need to run as hard as you think you do to get your heart rate up,
You just need to like jog, a nice jog or a nice just kind of
That's what a fitness tracker really is for, is to keep track of your heart rate. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, how does it stick to your arm though? Like that?
I think this might be like a Velcro band, and they were just showing it like a.
Yeah, it's ugly though.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Yeah,
It looks sticky to me, and like if you have hair on your arms, that's gonna hurt.
Well, if it's like Velcro that you Velcro around.
Yeah, the standard's 10,000 steps a day typically.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
But it was too. I think it's a prototype anyway, or whatever. It's too ginormous. I think if they were to scale it down, maybe people will get it. I doubt it though. It's just too ridiculous.
Just wait until it becomes a requirement. One day it'll be a requirement to get these things. If you don't have one, you'll get fined.
Yeah,
because the government's got to keep tabs on you and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of Demolition Man. He's like, I never knew what you guys did without it. He's like, we work for a living. This fascist crap makes me want to puke.
Yeah. That movie's great, man.
It's not a movie. It's a documentary.
Yeah, no, it is.
It seems that way, right?
It's way too relevant. It is way too that film is way too relevant right now.
Especially the you don't touch each other, remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
You shake your hands like.
And the 3 seashells?
3 seashells. Everybody still wants to know how those work.
The world has become a pussified wuss version of itself.
Yep.
It has. It has, sadly.
Yeah.
Excuse
people
me,
cry.
Sir.
If there's only a little bit of political incorrectness, people start crying and getting triggered and whatnot. It's very sad to see.
I hate, as much as I hate to admit it, we're at the good times create weak men kind of phase now.
Oh, that's a really good quote.
Frog G says, when you're in a disagreement with someone, walk a mile in their shoes. If you still disagree, you'll be a mile away with his shoes.
Well, if you disagree with them, you'll be 3 miles away.
Well, you know, who was it? It wasn't Thomas. Not Thomas. I think it was Thomas Jefferson. No, it was not Thomas Jefferson. Who's the one? Who was the ambassador to
the Wu-Tang Clan
to France?
Oh.
Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin. I think it was Ben Franklin that said, "I get all my exercise walking to and from the funerals of my more fit friends."
Mm.
Yeah.
So
sounds right. I'll go with it.
Mm.
And if it's wrong,
it's just it. Well, it's just it. It's just like for me, it's just like listen. There's no like denying it. It's like if you are overweight, you're at that risk of getting the coof. August will say it. Increases your risk.
The quiff.
The coronavirus.
The beer bug.
Beer bug.
The French
people
tickler virus.
Call it the other thing, so YouTube doesn't flag them because
I just call it the French tickler virus.
People.
Yeah, the French tickler. Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Does YouTube pick it up? Does it really pick it up?
I don't know if it still does or not, but it's better to be safe so you don't get
the virus.
Yeah,
man,
much.
I never adhere to them. I just say it on my.
I do too. I do too. But you know, Lola's channel. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah.
I said it the one time just so we knew, but.
I don't care.
Just in case Lola does get monetized, we don't want to jeopardize her.
Lola, you're
you know she doesn't want to be monetized. I can get monetized.
I'm looking forward to the first super chat.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, how many followers are we at now?
I don't know. How many?
Monetization is not my goal though here. So
it'd be kind of cool though.
It's my goal.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool to be able to say, "Hey, yeah, I can," but I'm not going to.
228.
Yeah.
So what else you got, Lola? You got something saucy? You got something saucy in there? Let's get something saucy.
Yeah, let's get those subscribers.
Yeah, let's get an article about soup.
I mean, McKinney is here. I mean, he's making it saucy. Can you top that?
Get that watch hours up, you know?
Homeowner frustrated after catching couple having sex outside of her home in Midtown.
That's just
Frustrated, eh?
That's called life porn. I mean,
That's a free show, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Like
Is
that's
that
what
them?
that's what we're here for, Lola, is to get you subs and watch hours, okay?
Yeah, you're the Howard Stern of CG.
Exactly.
Can y'all hear it?
Yeah.
Stunned to look outside of her window and see a sex act happening right in the middle of her street.
Did they film it?
Did not see what happened, but this mom is pretty upset at how she says police handled the whole situation.
Right, our Michael Laparty
They joined in.
Okay, so she's got video of it, I guess, on her outside
Oh,
camera.
really? Oh, can we see
So
it?
is the mom a creeper?
Hopefully, did she upload it? Is what
She's
I
got
want to
a,
know.
Obviously, she gave it to the news channel.
What tag did she put it under in Pornhub? I want to know.
Are you really looking for it? Are you trying to find out what the quote sex act was?
I want to see what they look like. Come on now.
I'm gonna see what they were doing.
Who was
Yeah.
smashing
What
that?
job was it?
It's good looking.
Aren't you
I mean,
curious?
okay.
Come on.
What was it? Sex act could mean anything.
Could be anything. Were
Well,
they actually
by
doing
the
it?
looks of it, it looked like someone was giving someone like a blowjob or something.
Is that it?
Okay.
Huh?
That happened to me in my driveway.
You know he's looking at under the blowjob category right now.
I already did that. I don't need to look.
See, I'm gonna say that he's probably getting a blowjob.
Yeah, that's
Oh, that's gotta be, or a hand job.
Because I mean, the person
been
that they've
there.
got blanked out is too low to the ground, and he's like standing up. Come on.
Is she in her car?
And there's something right here where it's blurred out. I don't know.
Like, if she's in her car, so you could have at least the door block, pass it. You got to have some kind of strategy.
And it
when
says
you do
sex
this.
act. It didn't say sex, so.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh. What's this?
Okay,
Oh,
here
it
it
was-
says they were
That's
having
nice of you,
sex.
Clayton. I followed you back.
Okay.
I hugged you back.
Yeah, hit him up for.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
work-
He called
regimen.
911 on him. Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Oh, what a
So they
creep.
were actually they were in the act of lovemaking.
Have you guys ever done
Yeah.
such a thing? Any of you?
They're in the climax.
Like oral.
remember.
I received in the driveway during it was like 9 o'clock at night. That's about it though. No actual like
Driveway.
like yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting that in the driveway.
I guess they didn't want to wait. I guess she
I mean,
didn't want to
I mean,
wait. I was like,
I didn't
in
want her
your
to.
driveway.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that doesn't count because you're still on your property, so it's like
Right, you're on your property, but I'm saying that's the closest I've come to this.
It's something transgressive, right? Like that.
I mean, I used to get in trouble all the time when I was in like my late teens. So.
Oh.
For what?
On other people's lawns, having at it. What's
I
for,
saw someone
being
on a
in
lawn.
public and doing things in public I shouldn't be doing.
Oh, Lola.
I-
Oh, Lola. I'm gonna send you to a nunnery.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid. It's like Lola did something like in what you saw with what was that Jason Statham movie Crank,
Oh, that's a great
Oh.
movie.
where you just, the
horse track?
in front of a bus in public.
No,
Crank
that was
2,
the
he does it in the
Chinatown
horse-
sequence, right? When he was in Chinatown, like just banging out Amy Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, no.
I would too, man. I mean, she's hot.
She
in
is hot.
public in front of a bus full of people. I was
She's
like,
hot. She's
And all
hot.
the little Asian girls like, hee hee hee, go.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
right?
yeah, that's fine by me. Cheer me on.
But have any of you ever looked outside your house and seen someone having sex or anything weird like that?
In
really.
LA, I looked over at. I was coming back from, I don't know. I think it was like some strip joint or something, and it was like 2 a.m. I was stopped at a light in Hollywood. I look over and there's this kind of Persian dude just staring at me, and I just see like a head just flopping around on his lap, going nuts on it, flipping all over his knob. But he's just looking at me like dead,
Wait.
like, just staring at me. Like I don't know. We have
You know
I
what?
was
Where's the gigolo CG? Where's Anthony?
Yeah.
He would
Deuce
definitely
Deuce
Dark
Bigelow,
Gift would.
Deuce
Yeah, he would.
Bigelow, Comics Gate Gigolo.
Yeah, he would definitely have some input on this. He would probably would have done a couple things or two. Yeah.
I mean,
I've
that was
never
odd.
witnessed anything. Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, it was.
because he was already looking at me when I looked over. You know how you just casually look over. You know, it's like 2 a.m. You're like, okay,
Was he
you look
nodding
over,
and smiling?
yeah. And I'm like,
I
what
mean,
the fuck?
the fact that he made eye contact is kind of creepy.
Well, he was
That
staring
is
at me
creepy.
before I turned my head, and there was
Right.
just this tuft of hair moving around his lap.
No.
I was like,
She was
oh,
trying
Was
to
it
help.
attached to a body?
No,
She was looking for her gum.
her gum, Will. It
Yeah,
was
she was
stuck
probably
in her
looking for something
zipper.
to come down there. There was probably something. There's probably something she was trying to look for, and it probably fell on his
Now,
pants.
when he
The
was
very
making
center.
eye contact with you, did he wink and smile?
No,
Maybe a
he was
little nod.
just dead faced at me.
Missed opportunity on his
See,
part.
that's creepy. It's just like,
Did you wink
like
and
serial
smile and
killer.
nod?
I just
That's-
kind of like went like this, like shouldn't you be concentrating on what's in your lap, and kind of turned away, you know?
Oh, you
Kind
missed
of look
the
like, what are you looking at me for? Like, do you,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I know I'm
You should've-
pretty.
You should have just licked your lips or blown him a kiss or something, man.
I guess. I mean, I was very catamite looking at the time, so
There you go.
maybe
The cops
maybe-
called on
maybe-
you because
maybe him looking at its dead still you made it go up even more. That's what made it.
Well, I was a prize piece at the time, so
You know,
maybe.
he was contemplating. He was contemplating.
I mean, I like anybody who finds me attractive, I find that a compliment. If man or woman, I'm not bisexual, but if a man thinks I'm attractive, you know, thank you. That's a nice compliment.
maybe he wanted to race you.
Maybe, you know, but I wasn't down. I just wanted to kind of go home and go to sleep.
He's like, I'm gonna stare you down while I'm doing this right here, and we're gonna race to the end.
And then, like, you know, if there's plenty of experiences where somebody drunk just kind of getting up in your face, and you're like, get the fuck away, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, walking around Hollywood, you'd get random women coming up to you and asking to kiss you, and it's weird. You know what I mean?
Do you
Stuff
kiss
like
them?
that. I had
would
one
kiss
who wouldn't leave me alone until I did.
Nice.
Like, she was
hot?
with... Yeah, she was very hot, but she was with a man, and I'm like, dude, that's your boyfriend.
That's
Like,
your man. And I was like,
no,
wait,
but
what?
then he opened his mouth and went, "Oh my God, you're just so embarrassing me." I'm like, "Okay, that's her boyfriend." You know what I mean? Like, and she's like, just, I'm so sorry, sir. She's just, oh God, she's just been too much tonight. I'm like, and I'm on the phone with a girl I'm dating, and you know, when he's like, I'm not going
that's
anywhere.
extra awkward.
I'm like, you're not going anywhere until you kiss me. I'm like, ma'am, like, and she's like, just, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, all right. And I kind of give her a peck, but then she grabs me
Whoa.
and tries to stick her tongue past my
It's the
teeth.
mouth to mouth French kiss.
Well, I was gonna give her a peck, and then she like moved her face into my lips and tried to stick her
like,
tongue
yeah.
past my teeth.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, tongue wrestle.
You know?
Awesome.
Ugh.
I'm so
Yeah,
glad
yeah.
I
No
don't
one
live in the
knows
city.
what. No one knows where those lips have been. Okay, so no.
I was just being nice, McEnany.
You got to do them a favor once in a while. These hot chicks who want to kiss
but
you randomly.
still, you don't know where those lips have been.
Well, I'm sure I've killed plenty of partners afterwards from the plague I'm carrying around from that evening. I've become the typhoid Mary of whatever super virus that woman was carrying.
Yeah.
You know, all the
Yeah,
kale
well-
I've been eating has protected me from it.
You know,
Look.
we could totally make like a superhero story out of that, a superhero origin story out of that. You know, totally make like a superhero origin story out of that.
What in the
Some
world?
random
Kevin
kids with
Tino's
these superpowers.
said he saw a head bobbing when he glanced at passenger side mirrors on a ferry. Earlier, there were two guys running to their car because they were already loaded on the ferry.
Hmm.
Go get it.
That's different.
Another bobbing head.
Yeah.
No,
One more
and
bobbing
see,
head.
they're all over the place. Everybody's bobbing for apples.
Bobbing their apples.
Everybody's looking for their gum. Oh my god!
Remember that? Like they used to call people bobbers. Remember that old one? That like
Yep.
that like early
Big
aughts
bopper.
term.
Yeah, the big bopper. Yeah.
They called women bobbers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
too young to
thankful
remember.
Right now, I don't live in a city. Like, I don't have to worry about seeing people fornicating everywhere.
Don't you know that I'm from Babylon, Lola? I'm from the most evil, wicked city on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you kind of hope you see something like that though when you go out? I kind of want to, I want to see a bit of a spectacle. Like I wish more people just did that.
I think it was more common like back in the 90s before the internet, really. Like people were just free flowing everywhere, like making
Public
out in
fornication.
bars. Yeah, I mean
Oh, yeah.
fornication or makeout sessions
Or
and
like
everything. They
hippies
didn't
or
care.
something like that.
Well, now they're worried about like getting me too'd or something weird, aren't
Yeah,
they?
well, also there's there's video cameras everywhere.
Right.
You can get recorded and all this.
So back
other
in high
stuff,
school,
so, yeah.
it wouldn't end up on Facebook, right? Like you
Yeah, I
wouldn't,
did
like, the
plenty of
slut.
things. Yeah, I did plenty of things that there are no evidence of. That.
Yeah, I'm very
Facebook-
grateful that there's nothing about me before 33 on the internet.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was gonna say, like Facebook was created after I graduated, so Facebook
Yep.
was in social media.
Facebook
Because
was
we still
created.
had MySpace, so we still had MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace was the shit, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember MySpace.
Do you miss Tom yet?
Oh yeah.
I miss Tom.
Good
Yeah,
old
you can
Tom.
customize everything.
Yeah.
I had a MySpace, but like I can't remember the password to get into it, so I'm like, it's
Well,
just there.
If you do, like, you can actually still see like all your old contacts and stuff, but a lot of it had changed. So they totally revamped the whole thing. It's mainly for like music now or something.
Yeah, it's made for like music
Yeah.
and such.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had Facebook for the last 11 years.
I got rid of Facebook after I think a couple years. After about like 5-6 years, just because the spying, the spying your personal data. That was like, yeah, no, that's a no for me, dog.
It's the way I keep up with my family. I mean, it's like
That's fair.
the only people I have on there, friends and family.
I just use
And
it too.
my preference is Instagram, but Scott and Culture Casino, they convinced me to start Twitter, although I felt that Twitter was an absolute hellhole and still is.
Twitter has to be the worst of them, right?
I only got on
Yes.
there because of the CG stuff. That's it.
Yeah,
It's honestly, if you go to my Twitter feed, you'll see what I use it for and what I look at because it's all comic crap. It's all comic books. It's all artwork. That's all I ever really look at. The second I see anything political, I just keep scrolling. I just look until I read something cool about comics or see a cool art piece or something, and then I'm like,
that's kind of how I am.
I mean, I
Yeah,
think
so
it was
it's like,
Shay who got me to do it. Like Shay's like, you need a Twitter, and then Dan's like, you need a Twitter, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
fine.
What about you?
And do you
What
regret
about
it?
you?
Do what?
Do you regret the Twitter?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, because it allows me to keep in touch with my friends. Because mostly everybody on there is my friends.
Yeah.
So it's largely positive for me.
Me too. Yeah, I don't.
It has been positive for me, but I think mainly just because it helps me keep in touch with pretty much everybody I work with in like Rogue Entertainment, TFM, CG, whatever, and really it's just because I focus on just liking art and posting. Well, because I just focus on just posting art and retweeting art and keep the hot takes to basically zero.
Yeah, I don't do
I'm
it
good.
either.
I played it safe. Yeah, I guess I can say I've been playing it safe. So.
I had this kind of conversation. I had this conversation with Rob Willis the other day because he used to get into it like pretty deep with people on Twitter, and it was kind of funny because I said, Rob, you got to remember that you can't confuse real life with Twitter because if somebody comes up in real life and says the shit to you that they say on Twitter, you kind of have to respond, right, in real life because they're challenging you. But when you're a dude who's used to being challenged in public and reacting in public, when you get on Twitter, you still carry that mindset, right? That people are you don't have to do it on the internet because on the internet, all you're doing is giving into the locale of it, right? So people want the response because it validates them. It's like, ooh, hit me, daddy, hit me, daddy. I like it.
Well,
Daddy.
also,
Give me more.
if you respond, it gives them something that they can use against you. You
Right.
know, they can like
Giving them ammo.
Right. In real life, they don't like getting the shit beat out of them physically. You know what I mean? Because if but on the internet, it's like, ooh, I love it. Give it to me more, Rob.
No,
Willis,
it's just
you know?
it really is. It's just like a lot of people, a lot of stuff that they spew, they would not say that straight to your face.
Yeah, I have
That's
a
why
policy.
they do it on Twitter.
That's my policy. Don't say online what you wouldn't say in person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's funny because there's lots of keyboard warriors out there. So sometimes when someone's giving me shit in like the Facebook comments or on no, it's mostly Facebook actually. That's where I get people getting on my back about things. I'll be like, you know what? Let's jump on a stream and talk about it.
Yeah.
And That never
There were,
happens.
like,
I
so
want it
many
to happen, and I'm like, this
Yeah,
will
so-
make a great show. Let's do it.
It's my just thing is just that after just been following all the BS that's been going on ever since like 2016, even early 2014 and such. I'm like, Twitter brings out the worst in people. It really does, and it's a ground for awful human beings. It's just
Makini and Clayton, you know what you do? You do the Tao of Patrick Swayze, Dalton, in Roadhouse. Be nice.
yeah, exactly. That's
Be
what I
nice.
do. Be nice.
It's nothing personal. You're going to be nice
Exactly.
Until it's time to not be nice.
until it's time to not be nice.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I do. Just be nice. I'm just nice to everybody until it's time to not be nice.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's very true. I'm waiting to see, like, you know how all the Facebook and Twitter and other social media are supposed to show you the negative stuff that you hate and pisses you off. I'm still waiting because they never, like, I'm not being provoked at all. It's kind of boring. I'm seeing all the, like, I love seeing beautiful artwork. I love it, but I just, I want to be stirred up a little bit.
And I've made a lot of friends doing this thing with Dan. I mean, I'm very grateful that I've come out with these amazing people that I've met. You know, Jason, Luke, Death Metal Hero, Rob Willis has become a very close friend of mine. Like, all these people have come out of all this, and I'm like, I'm extremely grateful that I've made all these friends.
Rob Willis is great,
and not only friends, but people I can actually like create stuff with. Even better.
Yeah.
So, like, Twitter's kind of like a double-edged sword, though, right? Like, you can use
we
it
streamline it.
good,
Lola.
huh?
We streamline it, right? We keep it to one thing.
Yeah. Like, that's what I was gonna say. Is you could either use it for the drama and the negativity, or you use it for good, which is networking, community.
Yeah, I use it for networking. Right, it's how I get to know people and communicate them with projects for Dan and just saying hello, sending people notes, sending attaboys.
So Clayton, you want to be stirred up. You want something to strike you.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Why?
Yeah, well, just I mean, it's fun to be stirred up. Let's be honest. Like, when you see something that annoys you, it's like, oh man, I can't believe this or that. But I think for me, that stuff is more. It makes me less angry and more amused. So maybe that's just what's happening. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe it's not hitting a nerve. Very few things hit a nerve with me.
You find it more comical.
Yeah. Like, so for example, with the death casting on Netflix did you guys hear about that?
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay. Yes, I know.
I saw that and I'm like, oh, this is a meme. Like, I shared it with Corey immediately. I'm like, Netflix adaptation, check it out, Corey. And then I was like, oh wait, this is real. This is actually, I can't believe it. I was more surprised, even delighted at what I was seeing.
At Neil Gaiman basically kind of like
yeah, well,
I wouldn't say attacking the fans, really just not really being tone deaf about it,
rationalizing something
I
ridiculous.
used to be a huge Neil Gaiman fan, like a huge one. And I guess about 2-3 years ago, he came out and attacked fans. And that's really when I got turned off to him. And then, like, this new set of bullshit that he's trying to pull with death, like, no, fuck you, dude. Go on.
Fortunately, I was never a Gaiman reader or fan, so
I don't know. To me, it's just not a surprise. I see it now. I'm just like, okay. Like, I mean, like, it doesn't upset me. I'm just like, yeah, okay. It's expected.
I don't. Yeah, it is. That's kind of where I am. It's like expected, but only because I'm not familiar with Sandman at all. So I really don't have a dog in the fight.
I don't mean just with Sandman, but I mean just in general.
In general, exactly. That's what I'm saying. In general,
like that, it's like,
it's not surprising.
Memes are reality now.
Chaz got it right.
Memes are reality.
Use Twitter for AAT.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Who said that?
Che, right there in the chat. The Argentinian.
Yeah.
Is he go by the Argentinian?
I don't know, but he calls him. He said that in there. That's what we say after every fucking word.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm in
too.
StreamYard, so I'm probably still behind.
Che is sort of like dude in Argentina. That's how we use it.
Because Twitter for me it shows me stuff I subscribe to. So if like I'm subscribing to certain artists or like Instagram models. That's all I'm going to see on my Twitter feed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, subscribe to some more crap that you hate.
Or to see what
need to do that, man.
degeneracy my friends are into.
Subscribe to Neil Diamond.
There you go.
And I'll see
What's that,
something
Will?
that my friends like. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, Jesus,
Like-
Jason.
Like really,
Some
I
of you
just
are
like.
a bunch of perverts. That's all I got to say.
Well, I just leave the like for me. It's just like I leave the reaction stuff to you guys. I leave the reaction stuff to other people, and I do just like tweets. I just like tweets by them. Whatever they see, some reaction, somebody says something stupid, and they reply back. I just leave it to them. I don't really say anything. I hardly do, just because it's just one. It's just I kind of put my foot in my mouth one time, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not gonna do anything. To kind of but I'm like,
Well, I'll see some of my friends or acquaintances, whatever, like respond to like tweets about like this is how you should live their life, and they reply, you don't tell me how to live my life, and I'm like, why are you even responding? Just don't even reply to them, and nothing bad will happen. It's like it's like I understand you want to state your mind, you want to say what you feel, but you don't have to.
I had to train
no,
Frank
you know,
for that.
you know what the thing is just I was spending all this time like I always said, I always come from the viewpoint of like on the outside looking in when I come to these streams. That's kind of how I am. I'm more of just an observer. I just observe.
It's amazing how once people get behind that screen and behind that avatar, they can be the worst people you will ever see on the internet.
Yeah,
and they say like the most just like nastiest, cuntiest shit.
Cuntiest.
Their avatar empowers them.
The anonymity powers them too, and admittedly, anonymity and the concept of anonymity is a double-edged sword in and of itself. So.
That's why I show my face at all times.
Yeah, I would show mine, but I would have to set up my lighting and put on my makeup and my beard and everything.
I prefer my name. I prefer not to get real
there's
stuff.
Plenty of people that rather not
just
be on camera. There's plenty of people like
and also just for personal reasons, just because I associate, because I hang out with you guys and such, and I'm afraid if I reveal myself,
you're good. I get it.
Targeted.
I mainly show my face like if I'm doing a promotion or like drawing like on Fregas or something, if I'm or shilling whatever, then because I think people like to see the person talking about their project. But if it's just chilling, it's just a lot more relaxing to have your just icon up there and just hang out and not
what
have
I'm
to worry
doing
about it.
So what you're all saying is you're not wearing pants.
No, I'm not.
I'm wearing sweatpants.
No, I'm not. I'm in my comfy clothes, which means my underwear.
See,
that's what my pants look like, Jason.
I mean, I was laying over.
Sweatpants.
I was in bed when I got the link, so I'm like, okay, I got to throw something on. I can't go there with titty free, so I threw on my jacket and came on here.
You can't take Wolverine's shtick away from him.
No, I can't. I'm not as sexy as Wolverine.
Where is Wolbo? Have y'all seen him around?
He sent me his meth goblin, which was pretty great.
Really? Do you have it?
Yeah, so his meth goblin. That was awesome.
I didn't see it.
Let me get it for you.
I'll have to go look.
Oh, I have it right here.
How many meth goblins have you gotten, Will?
I've got about, let's see. I've got about 6 so far.
I got to get you one.
I met a guy once. at a music festival called the Pinger Goblin.
Called the what?
He was called he called himself the Pinger Goblin.
The Pinger?
The Pinger Goblin.
Pinger. Okay, Pinger.
Goblin.
I thought he was being Peeners.
Pinger, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And man, this guy was just an absolute drug.
I'll be right back.
He was taking anything and everything.
Really? Just right there.
Yeah. And he was taking it from anybody.
He got the wonderful hiking boots. He got the coffee can. He got the dog, the cat bed.
Clayton, there he is. Like, this is the Pinger Goblin.
It's the Pinger Goblin right there.
So I think I'm gonna make an ash can one day and hand it out to the boys.
That's great. Wolverine did a good job.
Yeah, I think Wolverine kind of killed it there. Like I said,
Yeah.
he did like these pristine hiking boots that the guy had. You know who's on my porch? You know,
I like him.
That's it. There you go.
That's us when our camera is off.
That was Wolverine, Red Goblin, and you know what? Anyone's free to draw one and hand them over to me. You know, I've got one from. I got one from Frege. I got one from Plagal. I got one from Matt Barr. I got one from Billy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm waiting for one from the Jason Bascom.
He's gonna give you a hard time until he gets it.
No, because he would give me the seminal Meth Goblin.
You're too kind to me, sir.
I love your shit, Jason. I really do.
love you.
Thank you.
Oh.
I'm a fan of Jason's. Like I was a fan ever since Frege told me in private that guy's a genius.
Ow. Go on, keep
We
flattering me.
were talking about you the very first time we got into Comicsgate, and he was like, Jason's a fucking genius.
I know. I got this whole pretending to be blind thing going on. It's working wonders for me, man.
Mm-hmm. just like he said of. But he said that to me. He said you were a genius.
And he's just being nice.
Well, why would he have to in private?
Because he's being nice to you. I don't know.
No, he's not. He's not nice to me. I'm his little brother.
Do I know the inner workings of the Frege mind?
I see the other half of Frege. You guys.
The
don't
man
have
wears
to
a
see.
pink rabbit suit. Who knows what goes on through
I
his
get the
head?
grouchy Frege.
Hey, y'all are impressing my chat right now with
Yo,
how
what up,
sweet
Dean?
you are to each other.
There's a lot of niceness going around in the panel tonight.
Why shouldn't there be, Clayton?
Why shouldn't there be?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
There shouldn't be.
That's how every panel should be.
I'm a naturally encouraging and nice person to people I respect, and like.
Yeah.
I want everyone to do well.
I just love everybody. I love meeting people and hearing like other people's stories and like getting to know people and what they're into.
And I'm sure
I'm a
Matt
weirdo
Barr
like
would be
that.
here. if he could.
I'm a weirdo like that. I like people.
I'm sure Matt Barr would be here if he could.
Is that how you are in real life too,
He's
Lola?
exhausted.
Huh? Do what, Clayton?
Is that how you are in real life as well?
Yes.
Generally, you just want to get to know people.
Pretty much, yeah.
I like that too. Everybody's got a story.
And I get to
Right?
wax philosophical with Lola all day long.
Yeah, we were talking about Jesus and like how more people need Jesus in their life, and
Okay,
Huh?
I'm back.
We're talking about
Yes,
the
he's
temple.
back.
We're doing all kinds of stuff.
That could, yeah. Looking
yeah.
A lot of Christians over on the Incredible Comics end.
Yes, he's back.
Oh.
Yes, he's back. Yes, he's back. Yeah, there are.
And, even the heathens, we still love you guys.
The heretics.
So
I
Some
mean-
people need Jesus.
What's that?
I still
Clay?
love the heathens.
You can't have the light without the dark, right?
I love the heathens more, actually.
Exactly.
That's what darkness said.
I like associating with the heathen.
You know what I'm talking about? What is light without dark?
But
Okay,
no,
Tim.
yeah, that's how I am in real life, Clayton. I just like I go up to random people in the store. Like if I hear someone with a different accent than what I'm used to, I'll go up to them in the store and be like, "Hey, so I can tell you're not from around here. What's up?" And it always
And what-
happens.
And what kind of response do they give you, generally?
Most of the time, I get like a good conversation out of it.
I know,
Well,
right?
I mean, are they men or women?
I have both.
Well,
Well,
be surprised.
you're a pretty affable person, Lola. So
You'd
Um,
be surprised. People enjoy it when somebody gives them a chance to just have a chat.
Engage
pretty
in small
much,
talk.
yeah. People like to talk too.
Arrange a
Caught
conversation.
a news thing this morning, a little clip of the things. They said that Ohio is in the top 10 of the most rude states in the nation.
I thought that was Philly.
You're welcome. One of the top 10, not the top 10. Not the
I think Philly's the most aggressive city in the nation.
No, we're just rude.
State,
We're just rude. So you're welcome, everybody.
Look,
Oh,
speak of the devil.
There he
Hey,
is.
there's Wolverine. I just showed off your work, Wolverine.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome stuff, man. I really
Well,
liked it.
He has
Like I
a
said-
link. You can come in.
I'm gonna put together an ash can and hand it out to my friends once I got enough of them. I mean, Passion did one, but then he started saying he's gonna like charge me or something. I'm like, oh fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did.
Um,
You
I'm like,
can't do
okay.
that.
I'm like, whatever, dude. You know what I mean? They're like, all right. Kind of shrugged at him.
Hmm.
So, if he's listening, okay. It was just an odd thing. He just like got angry with me when I said, "Hey, send that to me."
No.
So I just went, no. I just went like
just
that.
don't
Fuck
know.
you.
Don't know what will trigger people, you know?
Yeah, but you know, I just don't like assholes. You know, I'm like, come on, be a sport.
I mean, I do
Nobody
get it
likes
from an
an
artistic point of view. It's like he spent the time to draw it. You know, he
Okay,
wants,
what do you want me to do? PayPal you some money?
I don't know. I PayPal people money. I don't know.
So-
I'm just.
It was
like
just a
that.
silly
I'm
response.
just,
Like, come on, dude. You take, come on.
I'm just
like-
saying. You never know. I mean, it's a mad
So-
world we live in, sir.
If only commissions worked that way.
This is true.
We're all just joking around here, and like, to change the tone is kind of silly. You know what I mean?
I think Plague's upset at me. I tried getting a hold of him for his PayPal, and he doesn't respond.
No, because Plague doesn't like to be. He doesn't think he's worthy of being paid.
You know what? He backed my book. I'll send him money one way or another.
Yeah. There are people who don't want to be paid.
And
There's
I'm
one
gonna
dude
do
that I was
Wolverine
like,
in here, yo. Titties,
Plague-O-
titties, titties.
Plague is unnaturally and unfortunately very modest, and he will do so to his detriment.
See, I think Plague is one of the top 10 in CG.
Oh yeah, he is. He's up there.
Yeah.
He's
He
way
was
up there.
awesome.
Me and Dan have been telling him that for 20 years.
Yeah.
Hey, Will,
Yeah.
were you on the other night when the 656 guys were on and they drew a Goblin Girl
Where?
on my channel?
No. I mean, when was this?
It was Friday night.
I was
Friday
passed
night.
out.
Okay.
Frog.
I
Like
mean,
the 656 guys that are doing the Cryptidals, they came on after like they'd been drinking for like 5 hours. They'd been hitting tequila all night.
Those
On
dudes are
Shay's
just a lot
channel,
of
yeah.
fun.
I was
over
gonna
on
watch, but I
Shade.
was so goddamn tired. I fell asleep.
Oh my god! Like they came over here and they drew Goblin Girl, but they did it in what, like 30 minutes or something?
Yeah, Dario, he did it, and it was amazing. Yeah.
those dudes are awesome.
Yeah.
Alcohol, it makes everything better.
It really
Those dudes are
does.
just a lot of
I-
fun.
I have tried drawing drunk. I cannot do it.
I
Actually,
tried- I
that was
tried
like
doing
20
many
years ago.
things
So.
drunk, and I can't do it.
That was 20 years ago. I haven't tried recently, so you never know.
Mortal Kombat? Can't play Mortal Kombat when I'm drunk.
Because Mortal Kombat sucks, Clayton.
Oh, what?
Oh,
It's
how
my
dare
favorite
you, sir.
game.
I'm a
Oh.
Capcom kid.
See, you
I was a
asked to get
Capcom
triggered,
kid.
Clayton. You just did it. Look at that. There you
I
go.
was a Capcom zombie. That was all I was doing.
I considered for a
no,
minute
it's just 'cause I
getting
can't play
offended
any other
there,
game.
But
Oh,
I
okay.
stopped playing Mortal Kombat at I think 3.
Oh.
The age of 3?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm younger than all of
So
you.
I
Probably.
Yeah,
I
you-
feel
I think you're the
I've been
youngest.
out of the
You cannot be
franchise
younger
too
than me.
long to be offended on its behalf.
Yeah. I think he is.
656 draws Goblin Girl.
I think Clayton is younger than Makini.
McKinney,
How old are you,
how old are you?
Clayton?
Me, I'm 31.
Oh, by a
I'm
year.
31.
You're both 31? Oh,
Yeah,
there you
but-
go.
Makani,
What month?
You just turned 31, right?
Yeah, last month.
Yeah.
I'm an
And
Aquarius.
how old's Wolverine? 21?
Jeez, oh man.
I think he's
Yeah,
19.
yeah.
I think he's
In
13.
1843.
In
You're angling for the butt
1943.
sex.
And I'm
I
a
can see
15-year-old
it, and I
boy,
approve.
so I
Lola-
win.
Yeah, Lola
So was
wins.
Wolverine in the picture on Mount Suribachi when they were raising the flag?
No, I
If
was
we do it,
drawing
yes.
it.
I was drawing it.
He was the one drawing it.
no,
He was the official Navy, artist.
I will be 49 on the 25th of this month.
Nice. Ooh, what are you going to do for your 50th? Something
Try
spectacular.
not to die.
Oh, it must be going to be grand then.
Yeah. With any luck, I'll be stoned, so it'll be good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's about time.
Are you
we had
drinking a
pot
Coors
on the
Light?
panel.
No, this is a Big K red cream soda that my mother dropped off a little while ago when she came to see me.
Is it aged?
I never heard of Big K cream soda.
I don't even know where the fuck it comes from.
Okay.
It's not something I would buy.
Oh well, you've just joined the majority of Americans who don't know where their food comes from. So
There you go.
No, like I like
Right?
Stewart's cream soda is delicious. Stewart's has good cream sodas.
So
Yeah.
I have a question for Lola, since
Lola.
Jason's gonna have to leave in a minute because he's gonna die of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Shall we do one more topic out of your stack of stuff so Jason can join in on something saucy?
Let's see what's in the
Sure.
sack.
Do I?
Give us something provocative and something controversial, Lola.
Something provocative?
Something that's going to get me in trouble, perhaps.
Oh.
It's a test quiz on how likely you are to cheat on your spouse.
Okay, let's do that.
And
Well, I've got
Is
sex
it one of
scenes
those
in
Red
the
Book
time of
quizzes?
COVID.
get what?
Sex scenes in the time of COVID, how they're changing.
So people wrap
That-
themselves in condoms?
They're
That
changing?
that is actually a very interesting topic to research on your own on porn sites for fun.
I like group research better.
There is a whole new category on a lot of these porn sites just on quarantine sex and COVID related. It's fascinating.
Whoa! What?
So what is
Yes.
this?
Mhm.
COVID has spawned its own subgenre of
Yep.
porn.
No
Yep.
way!
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
mass.
piqued
Give it
Clayton's
mass.
interest.
I just fucked the normal way, Wolverine. I don't need to see that.
Isn't it just like regular sex though?
I mean, there's no like certain special kind of COVID fucking, but it's fucking. But the whole.
Or is it
angle
like
of the
infected
porn-
people banging?
No, there are some people who are just like like amateur porn is like, I have been locked in my house for like a year. I am used to getting fucked like twice a day, and I am going out of my goddamn mind, and I just need me sex now, and I
Yeah.
want to do it on camera. There's the normal porn with a story angle where it's like they got the storyline is revolving around quarantine and some shit.
Yeah.
It's a whole broad little subgenre of different ways that
Do
COVID
people
has
actually
affected
listen to the
porn.
stories? Do they really listen to the story? Are people like, oh, this is
Sometimes.
very good. Oh, I like where this is going now. Like, no, you don't
Most
listen to
of the
this.
time, no.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
no.
a good
when you say
story.
the stories, like the plots?
Yeah.
Oh, so like the Big Lebowski, and he's like, I'm going to fix Ina cable?
Oh,
Yeah,
no, every
exactly,
Once in a while,
exactly.
Every once in a while, I find that at least I actually pay attention. Like I
The
was just
furniture.
like, I was just bored and scrolling through porn one day when I discovered this.
Bored.
This COVID subgenre, and immediately I wasn't. I was immediately not browsing porn anymore. I was like, I need to know about this. This is fucking weird and fascinating.
I like looking at like the
It
furniture
became
or
an
the
academic
pictures.
exercise.
The pictures that are hanging up and be like, that's a horrible picture. Why would you have that there? It's like the
Oh, yeah.
placement. It's like, you bought that? You bought that. You actually went out and bought that. No, I don't believe you. That's horrible. It's like, yeah, decorate your house better.
So is this what the article was about, Lola?
No,
or we just,
not in the
we just
slightest.
spin off of it?
No, not in the slightest. No, but I found something a little different that you guys you might have some opinions on.
Please.
Hmm.
Clayton,
Clayton, I kind of want your reaction first on this one, okay?
All right,
All right.
Clayton goes first.
I'll prepare myself.
Because it's in Australia.
Oh.
So, stepmom's weird sex toy gift for 16-year-old sparks outrage.
I mean, right off the bat, I like it. I'm intrigued.
Look.
What is
so
the sex
long as
toy?
the
Why
weird
would
sex
the
gift
why would the
wasn't a
stepmom give it
family
to her
heirloom.
stepson?
Wait, is it to a stepson or?
No, a stepdaughter. Or
Oh,
yeah.
stepdaughter. Oh, okay.
I stand
Okay.
by my I stand by my one rule. As long as it's not a family heirloom.
I mean, it's about underage children. No comment.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. That's true. That's
Like if you're going to give your
But-
underage
Bad,
child
bad.
a sex toy, make it a new
Bad.
one.
But why would
Bad.
a parent do
No.
such a thing?
Bad. Don't do
Well,
that.
I mean, I get she's a step parent, so technically she's not a parent, but
Let's pretend she's 18.
parents are supposed to help
yeah,
you
this
out,
this
right?
would be fine
Like-
if she were 18. I can kind of see it, like especially if you're like, look, I know the kid. She's obviously in there jerking off from time to time. I figure I'll give
Like,
her
this is like
something
a parenting faux pas, right? Like, why would you do that? Why would you give your kids something
Generally,
like that?
yeah.
Like, I don't want to know when my kids are even remotely. I don't care if they're 18. I don't care if they're 40. I don't want to know when my kids are having sex.
Do girls jerk off? Is that
What?
possible? That's what Wolverine just said.
No.
Do women or do girls? I mean, I don't want to talk about girls, but
Okay,
Tomato
right. I meant
clitoris.
women.
women,
but
yes,
still.
they do.
Yes.
Jerk.
Tomato
Oh.
clitoris.
Yes, I
Jason.
can.
What are
I
you
can attest
jerking?
to this from very recent memory of somebody telling me they do.
You could jerk the
incessantly.
nipples.
Mhm.
Did any of you guys watch the fight between Mayweather and
No.
McGregor?
No,
None of you?
no, that was a
I
rig job.
I
That was
think it's
straight up
a
rigged.
professional boxer fighting a YouTuber. I was
And,
like,
and
okay,
it's like
story,
it's not
game
well,
over.
and the thing is, it's not even like because everybody make the excuse. It's like, oh, it's an exhibition match, and I'm like, yeah, usually most exhibition matches are much more professional than this. They're not
It's a
as
valid question.
staged.
Grimmer's got a good point. Hey, Clayton,
Yeah.
what is
Well,
legal age in Australia?
if you're a 16-year-old and you're like banging another 16-year-old, it's illegal.
Well, that's
But yeah, it's they have to be over 18 for everybody to have sex
that
with
sounds
everybody
about
else.
normal
But-
to me.
That's how we have it.
But it's funny because like my sex drive was like at its peak at 16, so it makes sense to like.
I don't know if
Okay,
my sex
I would
drive
love
was
to
at
sex
its
drive.
peak.
that's a
My
conversation to
energy
have right
levels
there.
was at its peak.
Like, men hit their sexual peak in their teen years, where women don't hit it
Yeah.
until their 30s.
What does that mean, sexual peak? Like, I don't understand.
It's when you're at your most horniest. Like all you
Yeah.
can think about is sex, and you're
When you have your
masturbating like
strongest
16
desire
times a
most
day.
often.
Oh, okay. So, in terms of just satisfying an urge.
Yes.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
I'd
It's
say
like
that happened
prim-
to me in my
primal
mid
instinct.
20s.
But how is it
Right,
fair
that too,
that
yeah.
you guys get it in your teen years, and yet we have to wait until we're in our like mid 30s?
But see, that's why if you're a guy in your mid-20s, you go after those 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
Or they
That's
come
the
after
smartest
you.
thing to
That's
do.
the fun part.
Yeah,
Don't
and they
even
go after
talk
you.
about
That
me in
does
the
make it
cougar.
easier. That does make it easier.
It is nice being preyed upon by an older woman. It does.
It really
it boosts
is.
your ego.
Yep.
Man,
Does that happen
I
often?
approve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're
It's
in your
happened to me all the
20s,
time.
yeah.
Not often.
Theo,
It's happened.
where's
Will,
Anthony
Jason,
when I
probably.
need him?
Happened to me all the time in my
He's
20s.
cosplaying Black Cat. I don't care what the fuck she
Well,
said. That
because
looked
I
just
was a-
like him.
I worked in people's homes, so there was always an opportunity to be alone with some older woman who was always looking at you because you're a worker in their house. You know, so yes, I was always in a position where there was an older woman who could, hit on me. So I had
Yeah.
hundreds of opportunities. So it's not like I'm this attractive man. I was just in the way. You know what I mean? A lot.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever dated? Have you any of you ever,
land on your lap?
have
What?
any of you ever dated an older woman before? And if so, what's the oldest? Or,
Dated?
or man?
No.
How much
Liaison
older
with?
do you think they have to be before you call them older?
What's that?
How much older do you think they have to be before you call them older?
How much older do they have to be what?
Like, if are they 10 years older, or is 10 years
they-
older, or is like 2 years older?
Or just
you know
simply
what I mean?
older?
Oh no, like the oldest.
Yeah.
What's the oldest you've been with?
I think there's a 6-year difference between her and me. I was in my early 30s. She was in her late 30s.
Yeah.
Will
around there.
was shy.
Yeah, my ex-wife was 8 years older than me. My daughter's mother was 9 years older than me.
Now that's older. Younger, I could top that, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
the
last
youngest is-
girlfriend, I was in my late 30s and she was 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with
Yeah,
me.
it's about
I was
right.
37. She was 22.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
that's
Yeah.
a young. That's the
That's
biggest.
like the
That's the
same-
biggest gulf I've ever had.
Granted,
about
that
the
was like
same
11 or
gulf,
12
yeah.
years ago, so fuck.
that was about
Yeah.
the same gap I had. Yeah.
I said, like I said, that's the biggest gap I've had in age with somebody.
Yeah. And yeah, never again.
No,
ridiculous.
never again.
Yeah.
I was
Lola,
18. He was
yeah.
30.
Yeah, Lola has that.
Ah.
Yeah,
That
but
happens often.
that happened to my sister. My sister was doing that too a lot.
Yeah, my ex-wife, when we met, she was 18 and I was 29.
30.
That's why I'm glad I'm 31. Like, that's just the best age to be as a man.
31, early 30s is the best. Like
I
for
do
a guy.
know a young woman in her early to mid 20s at the moment, who has is fully self-aware of her massive daddy issues, and I fucking approve.
Lady Frog is 1 month older than Froggy.
And yes, you are correct, Clayton. My life didn't stabilize until my 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I feel that way.
Early 30s is a fun, because also, like, if you're
I hated
single,
my 20s. My 20s sucked ass.
Early 30s also, though, you can date late 20s, which is nice for women, or like later 30s, which is still nice for women.
Yeah,
so
you're in
kinda
the
a
sweet
spot. Yeah.
What age does it start going downhill and not being the sweet spot anymore?
What do you mean? In terms of what?
Your
like-
sweet spot or hers?
Hey, Clayton. Corey says 31 is old, bro.
Dude, you're not far away, mate. You're not far away. And you'll love it when you get here.
31 is when you actually become an adult.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's true, right? It's like a new stage of maturing. It's like the next stage of puberty or
Children.
something.
Yeah.
Start growing hair on your shoulders, out of your ears.
I actually don't. Well, maybe the ears, like
Your
the
first
earlobes.
hard on, it's a
the
glorious
earlobes.
time.
Look at that.
Yeah, you just feel like more of a you're becoming more of the beast that you're supposed to
Well,
be.
not only that, your mental state is a little different too, and
better.
you're a little more mature mentally. Even though we still act like we're 12, you are more mature mentally than you were. Like you're like, wow, 29.
You have a
I was
better
an
sense of
idiot.
humor.
You
You're
have a
not so
better sense
easily
of
offended.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah, you don't have the
This is
same
19.
fury you used to have, right, in your 20s.
Yeah,
You know?
Right.
Like
you don't
aren't
want to be a
you-
gangster anymore.
Yeah, you aren't controlled. Like when you're in your early 20s, it's like, you get jealous of things, and you get like you act very irrationally,
Right.
Yeah.
and then
Or
you still have those things. Of
Any
course, in your
given
30s.
dumbass idea is the first idea across your mind, and that's the one you're going to go with.
Right, but in your 30s, you still get that way. You still get jealous, but you just don't act on it in extreme ways, right?
Yeah.
When
You
you're
just
in
have
your
that
20s,
thought, like,
you get
I'm
extreme.
not going to give a fuck.
No, it still hurts you. You just don't go fucking nuts
In
over
your
it.
20s, you're like, surely everything
Here's
will
a
work
question
out.
I have for you guys. So,
Yeah.
has your political views, have they changed since then?
Yes.
No, because I've never had any.
Oh, immensely, yes, immensely.
Mostly,
sure. I thought I was a
political
hippie in my early
beliefs
20s.
haven't changed, but my position has changed in response to the left's growing insanity. They've pushed me here.
I used to be a pretty buttoned down libertarian, conservative, William F. Buckley toting, National Review reading, conservative, America's idea type of guy. And then as I got older and I came back to Christianity, I started to see things differently and see evil and understand what evil is.
Mhm.
And I'd say I started hating both sides equally. I'm a right wing guy. I'm like a right wing hippie,
I
You have your
I
own.
was raised
You
by
have your own
actual
center.
hippies. Like I used to be the liberal, and
I'm
I'm
a
not
right-wing
much different
hippie.
now. But
I'm
like they
into-
moved the ground under us, so like what used to be the classic liberal is now a fucking
Yeah,
Nazi.
it gave me the lens to see evil. Like I said, I was just lacking an understanding of Christianity, and I was still a Christian in my heart, but not in my brain. I didn't have the intellectual background or the intellectual girding that I got later because I never subjected myself to actually understanding what I felt in my heart. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so all it was just like, what was written there, right? The natural morality. But I had nothing guiding me. I had no principles. I couldn't argue them. I couldn't philosophically justify them,
Yep.
So if somebody asked me, do you believe in God? It would be a purely gut feeling. It wouldn't be anything I could justify. You know what I mean?
Well,
now
that's
I
kind
can
of cool.
justify it.
It's cool that without anything else, you still feel it there.
Yeah,
Feel that instinct.
It was trust, pure faith, right?
Yeah.
But now it's reason and faith, so it's 10 times stronger.
Awesome.
Because I educated myself, I understood why I believe in God and why I'm a Christian. And because of that, it allowed me to reorientate and see evil with a different lens. And when I did that, I stopped being those other things. So I'm still right wing. I'm just not a Republican. You know what I mean? I'm not a conservative because I hate them.
You're your own person.
Exactly, because I realize they're evil.
they make you they make you think you've only got 2 categories that you can put yourself in, but we're too dynamic for that. We're too unique.
Yeah, I mean, I can get along with a green person because I believe in taking care of the environment and being a good steward and taking care of animals and watching out for the environment. It's just not a passive set of resources for you to destroy. I think capitalism is just as evil as socialism at times. Am I a free trade guy? Yeah, within a nation, yes. But do I believe in importing slaves to destroy your countrymen? No. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
Do I buy into unions? Yeah, I think there should be protection for people who need to raise families
For
and be
sure.
paid fairly. But people would say that's not a right wing position. I'd say yes, it is. It's a nationalist position, right? It's protecting your country and the people of your country, and it's okay to do that.
Yeah. I almost want to vote
Unions
for
as they
Jason.
exist now are terrible
with that
fucking
hand.
predatory practices. They fuck
See,
their
I
union
found
members.
myself getting more conservative as I got older.
Yeah, I'm
Me too.
conservative when it comes to nationalism. You know what I mean? But am I conservative in the, like I said, in the Buckleyite way? No.
Yeah. So what did you become more conservative?
Jason?
I'm sorry. I was holding my pen with my strong hand.
When did I what, Clayton?
I was going to ask Lola, what made you become more conservative?
Oh,
Now draw with it.
What made me more conservative?
Yeah. What?
It's
like,
not so
you
much
said
that I became more conservative, right? Like,
Yeah.
just my views, according to the left, was that I was more conservative. Because I was, like, I grew up in a time, like, I was taught that what goes on in your bedroom stays in your bedroom, right? Like, I had ideas like that, and that apparently, because I was like, hey, everybody should be able to live and do whatever they want, but you don't have to tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
That somehow or another made me a conservative, but I do have some conservative views because I do believe in the right to bear arms. I do believe in free speech. Like, you know, I do believe in the rights that we were granted by God himself, you know.
I should have a cannon.
Yeah.
I want a cannon.
I want a minigun.
Yes, I want an artillery gun. I want.
Sit in my yard and just crank the shaft.
I want to crank my shaft. It's not in public.
Gravy.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up in the South. I grew up around guns and hunters. Like, I don't see a problem with them.
Well, all their arguments against these things are entirely predicated on faulty or complete lack of understanding of why those rights were there to begin with. You don't need an AR-15 to hunt. No, that's not what that's for. That's not what that right is for.
Like, I don't believe the government needs as much control in my life as they want to take.
No.
That's the stance I take. Like,
and they sure as hell don't need more than they have, which is what they want.
But I can't claim feminism because feminism is a way of looking at superiority, right? I don't want to be superior to men. I want men to be men. I want us to get back to like real machismo and real macho men. I want that back. I'm tired of seeing these pussy bitch-made men that don't want to do anything. That don't, like, they're letting women take over every aspect of their life. Like, stop doing that.
Very sad.
I say it all the time. I think we had achieved our peak in the 80s. We had practically gotten rid of racism for as much as you can. We had knocked the sexes down to basic equality. Where
I'm going to put it to you this way. You're always going to have hate. You cannot do away with hate because people have free will and free thought, and they're going to hate what they hate.
Even if you eliminate all bias and hatred and whatever, all it takes is one guy, maybe a generation or 5 down the road, just one atavism who says, fuck that guy, and it's back.
Listen, racism, you know, that will never be good. That will never go away. Because it comes down to the human condition. It comes down to the human...
We are a tribalistic species. That's how we learn to live.
Naturally prejudiced. It's just
evolve.
It is.
Yeah.
And this whole thing is just like you're not going to eliminate. It's like we can reduce. I think we're better. I think we were a lot better when we reduced it to its bare minimum. But
Yeah.
but you want to get rid of all of it, but you're doing it by creating more. You're trying to eliminate racism by actually creating more racism.
I
You're
don't
actually
I don't think they're actually trying to eliminate anything. I think they're doing exactly what what the people actually driving this from the top want to happen.
But
I
this,
think you're seeing what happens when you have heterogeneous empires. It's always going to happen that way, because if you have foreigners ruling over you and
Yeah.
ruling
Yeah.
over a group of people who don't want to be ruled over by a certain group of people, you're going to have friction, because in
Totally.
the end, different tribes have different values. Now, among those tribes, those values may work for those tribes, but trying to apply it, as a catch-all across all people to make them equal, I'm sorry, you're going to get friction.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
like what.
the black community has a different values for their own people. Italians have different values for their own people. Russians have values for their own people. Jewish people have values for their own people. Some of them connect, especially if they're Christian across the board, or if
but
they're Muslim across the
It's not
board.
even just a racial issue. There's the same thing with
But there's also tribal
various
issues.
religions.
There's also tribal issues.
Even within white folk,
hold
like
on, but
hillbillies have
we
different
can limit
values.
the amount of hate
Hippie folk. Oh,
by
yeah.
having conversations with one another, talking to one another, instead
Yeah,
of
you
doing
can.
what they're wanting us to do, which
And
is
also
to
by
hate each
unclenching
other.
our assholes a great deal.
Yes, but here's the thing, Lola, is that what we're doing is, again, what heterogeneous empires do. You're removing people's right of association. People cannot be with their own people without calling them racist. You could have this congenial trade between tribes, but you have to allow them to be tribes, right? You're going to have trade. You're going to have associate. You're going to have hospitality, but you can't say you're going to live there because we need more X people there. You're just going to have resentment and hatred, because people want to be around people that look like and act like or behave like themselves. That's natural. That's okay.
And that's not a race thing either. That's like, hey, I like to hang out with people who like wearing colorful outfits because I wear colorful outfits. Or, I like to hang out
I
with
like
other
hanging
people
out
who
with
are into
people
heavy
who
metal.
I can
That's my
relate
crowd.
to and like shit I like.
Yeah, but that's on the level of friendship. That's what you guys are talking about, which is fine.
Yeah.
You can be friends with people from other tribes, because that's a different thing than mere familiarity. Mere familiarity is a tribal thing. You know what I mean? People want to be around what's familiar, so they're not scared. But you can be friends with people from other tribes. Of course you can.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because you're going to get
I'm
philosophical.
just talking about pure hate right now. Like
Yeah,
you
but
can
I
eliminate
think
pure
that's a matter
hate.
of that's a relatively new thing, because that's a matter of science, right? Racism as a science is a new thing, right? Like that's a product of the Enlightenment. That's a product of biology. That's a product of Darwinism, all mixed together. When you have a lack of a transcendental understanding of what people are, right?
Yeah. There's some hateful people, but I think a majority of people aren't hateful toward other races and other genders and whatever, right? Like a majority of like
No.
normally wired,
Well, that's
balanced
like the
people
majority
are
of
fine.
women. Like they will, like 90% of women will not say that they are feminists. They will not claim feminism.
Yep. Totally. Especially
And there's
if
a
you,
reason for that, because we don't want superiority. We don't want any of that. Like we want equality, right? Like I'm just as much for men's rights as I am for females' rights, because men deal with different things than females.
you're a humanist.
Yeah,
We're all
and
humanists.
the same can be said for just anyone who supports who wants men's rights. They're not men's rights they're not MRAs. They just they just want equality. They just want
shit, even the MRAs aren't that bad. They're extreme.
No, I
but
like
again, they
like,
were pushed to that extreme. They didn't go there willingly.
And what we're
I
talking
always say that I love MGTOW and I love MRAs because like I find them fun. Like to me, they're fun.
They can be over the top.
I think they're a little annoying when they want women to court them. It's a little weird. You know, that's
Well,
But
what-
I can understand
I
why
got
men
no
would want to
problem
go
with a
their own
woman
way.
courting
Like
me.
I can get that.
Oh, I
I
can
can get
understand it,
behind
too.
that as a female because I know how females are.
well, modern women can be a bit annoying. They're,
Oh yeah.
you know, I've dealt with it, and it's an annoying thing dealing
Yeah,
with
some
modern
can.
women.
well,
I totally
think-
agree. It's just my only issue is that it's just that if you it's just those who are, let's just say, fuck women, period. Like those and I'm probably talking about those more extreme ones.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they're assholes.
Where did Jason
Yeah,
go?
and I feel like and those probably represent and the thing is those probably give, you know, those the MGTOWs, MR and stuff a bad rap.
Such
They
a
do.
small majority.
well,
Like,
you get a bad like you get bad apples in everything, right? Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
you have the
I mean-
really extreme SJWs that go out of their freaking mind if you say the wrong thing to them. You have the far right who freak out if you say the wrong thing to them.
just treat others how you want to be treated. It's a good rule in
Plain
life.
simple.
It is.
Like just walk down the middle, you know? All you gotta do is walk center and you're good.
I just find it very
That's what I
simple.
always told my kids.
It's very
Center
simple to
is
me,
the best
Lola.
place to be.
You're on the side of God or you're not. You know, that's how I see it. Very simple for me.
It's very simple.
So-
I got problems with that.
Well, you know, like the way I see it, like I said, everybody's equal. Everybody has value as a human being.
Mm.
They're all children of God. Even if you're an atheist, I still regard you the same way. You know what I mean? I don't care. The
But
point.
see, we can have panels like this where we have someone who believes in God and we have an atheist, and y'all can sit here and have these conversations. And there's a reason
Oh,
that we
yeah.
can do that. Because we're grown ups and we're human,
Right.
right?
Totally. It's
Because we're
awesome.
fucking
And
Makes for
sadly, a
good
lot of people who are, you know, on Twitter and such, they aren't grown ups
Like-
or they don't.
These people can't have these conversations because they don't have the capacity in their brain to understand anything about communication. It's
Oh,
like
try-
social communication does
Try
not
to deal with churchians. Churchianity is one of the most annoying things on the planet.
churchianity.
You
What
never
is
heard of churchianity? Churchianity are the people who use Jesus Christ as a means to essentially browbeat people to death and say, I'm superior to you. Jesus is going to beat you up for me. And meanwhile, they're watching tranny porn. You know what I mean? And they
What
won't show you.
episode?
I know exactly what you're talking about, Will, because I grew up in a cult. So
Yeah, they're called churchians.
So most of the Christian world,
Yeah, they're
or
church.
most
That's
of the
why,
Abrahamic world.
that's why they're evil, Wolverine.
Yeah.
Grimmer says, "Jason, come back."
I'm still here.
He's just slowly fading into the distance, getting further and further
I suppose
away.
our panel is boring some people.
Lola.
Okay.
It just
Okay.
takes time with the strong.
Okay.
Yes, I grew up in a cult. It was a
Man.
legit cult.
You get more and more interesting.
I'm
Who's
getting
there?
more interesting.
Have you told the
Lola's
cult story?
always-
Well,
Yeah, she
I
has. Tell it again.
story.
Oh, I've never heard it.
I don't really talk about. I don't think I've ever talked about it like live.
Yeah,
No.
I think it's funnier than shit that we have
Backstage
two
pie.
women who grew up in cults.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up around a cult. It's an offshoot of Pentecostal.
Okay.
So were they
And-
snake handlers?
Snake handlers. They spoke in tongues.
Ooh.
Wow.
They're-
Oh shit.
Women are pretty much second class citizens.
Right.
Women aren't allowed to cut their hair. They're not allowed to wear makeup. They're not allowed to wear pants. They're not allowed to wear high heels that are more than 6 inches.
they're not allowed to poop.
I mean, they have all
They're not
these
allowed to touch the
rules. It's
penis.
just crazy.
How dare they?
Yeah. So you probably figured that wasn't for you.
Okay, no.
Well, she didn't
Well-
know any better at the time.
I imagine she was fine with it until they said no cocaine.
It's cocaine.
Cocaine?
Cocaina.
No
Cocaine. No,
Well-
like what happened is my family grew up in this religion, and my mom and dad, they met because their parents were a part of this religion, right? And so like both sides of my families were involved in it, But by the time I had hit, I guess about 5, my mom realized that my dad was an alcoholic and she divorced him. And so when we, which, went against the cult rules, right? Like, divorce was bad. So, my mom pretty much was told she had to leave the church, and she did. And, but my aunt was still a part of it. So growing up, I always went to church with my aunt, and yeah, I got to hear about how awful women were because women caused the fall in the garden, right?
Yeah, right. Oh,
Yeah, it's your fault.
could have been in the
When I was
garden.
about 16 is when I said, okay, yeah, this isn't for me because there's too many rules that I'm never going to be able to abide by. I'm just going straight to hell.
But you guys also step on the head of the snake, so there you go.
Was it one of those cults that are hard to believe to leave, where you've got to sneak out in the mid of the night?
No, it's not quite like that. I mean, there were churches involved in that particular religion that were that way.
Mhm.
I mean, they follow a prophet.
Was his
Cool.
name Mohammed?
Billy Bob.
No, his name was actually Brother Branham.
What?
Brother Branham.
Okay, I'm going to steal that.
He was a faith healer in the 40s during the faith healing movement.
Yeah.
It was a big thing.
I'm a big believer in Jim Jones.
Yeah. He actually knew Jim Jones and encouraged Jim Jones.
No
I told
way.
you.
The
Jim
man
Jones,
made a fine beverage.
#1.
Is what he did.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah. So I grew up in that, and so when my great grandmother, who was like my mother, right? She was laying on her deathbed, and she laid there for 2 weeks. And that woman was a very devout member of this religion. She was a devout believer in God. And when she died, I was like, okay, this woman was in church every Sunday, every Wednesday. Every time the doors were open, she was there. She was walking if she couldn't get a ride. I was like, she laid there for 2 weeks and died. I don't think this is what I want to do. This is not, God is not for me. So I pretty much said there was no God and went atheist for a while.
As I guessed you probably would.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't until I got pregnant with my first child that I realized that there really was a God. So
yeah.
But that's my walk. That's my walk and my journey. Like, I believe each and every one of us have our own walk and our own journey. And how we get there is how he has his plan for us to get there. So it's not for me to tell you that what you're doing with your life is so horrible that you can't be redeemed. That's not my job. Because I have my own sins.
Lola, I enjoy reading the most are atheists turned Christians. Because they have the most thought out and well reasoned reasons for their faith, right? Because they had to come to it the hard way, especially C.S. Lewis, right? C.S. Lewis is the best one, because C.S. Lewis was a dyed-in-the-wool atheist. Guy, was in World War I. He lost his mother when he was a kid. He was raised by basically an absentee father, then given over to a pedagogue, not a pedophile, pedagogue, a different thing, who trained him to be a rationalist and a naturalist and reject God. Then he goes to World War I. You know what I mean? Is left for dead on the battlefield. All of his friends are killed on the Somme. And this is a guy that accepted that essentially fairy tales were lies. He just loved them. He didn't know why he did. And those are the most beautiful stories. Those are the ones that inspire me the most. Because those guys, Paul, I think, is the original, in my opinion, atheist, right? Paul the Apostle, right? Who killed other Christians for a living.
Saul.
Saul until he became Paul, right? Those are the guys I like listening to. And if you read the Bible, God tends to like really imperfect instruments. He doesn't like brown nosers.
Right.
He doesn't pick Charlie Churches. He always picks people who are warriors, who are imperfect. Moses didn't even know who the fuck he was. You know what I mean? Moses came into the burning bush and said, "Who are you?" We get the greatest metaphysical statement ever uttered, which is, "I am, I am."
I personally don't believe that I have a right to judge anyone's way of living. If you're an adult, consenting adult, right? This is what I'm talking about, consenting adult. I don't feel I have a right to judge anything that you do because I've done my own stuff and I have to
Yeah, of
ask
course.
for forgiveness for what I've done. Like I can't sit around and like I'm not gonna go to hell for your sins and you're not gonna go to hell for my sins.
Well, I
So
get it. We're no angels, but here's the thing: when we're talking between two people about a standard, you have to have a standard, right? It's not
right.
necessarily me imposing one on you. It's what is the standard, and admitting to between each other there is one. And if you're admitting that there is an eternal standard beyond mere opinion, then it's something eternal and non-material, and something that perhaps it's going to judge both of you. You get what I'm saying?
I just don't believe you can force someone into something and they have to come to it their own way.
Oh no, I'm not saying you're forcing. I'm talking on the level of philosophy here. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's funny you say that because there's so many opinions about it.
About what?
Well, about about God, about that higher being, which is and you were saying that there's some truth out there that goes beyond just opinion. That is just truth. But then, as human beings, we do have a lot of opinions about it, and the true essence of what it is maybe, I don't know, beyond our comprehension because we're mere humans. But I love talking about this stuff too, Will. Like I get super philosophical about it. Who knows? I might start a cult one day, maybe.
Hey, Darren.
Or maybe a symposium where you do a lot of drinking, like the Greeks, right? A lot of wine.
Yeah, no, I'll do that. That sounds much more fun.
We'll do the symposium one day when I go down to Australia, Clayton. We'll have a lot of wine and we'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll meet up with why do I always forget Bancroft? We'll meet up with Bancroft.
Bancroft is a brilliant man. He's insanely smart. You wouldn't think it just looking.
He's also an atheist, so we'd have some conversations.
Oh yeah, probably. So. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so many thoughts about the higher beings and whatnot that you go around in circles. In general, if I'm not thinking about it too hard, I'd be like, yeah, there's definitely something there. Yeah, there's a God there. Like, and it's the label that you give to such a significant thing that's far and beyond your human understanding. And we've only got our interpretation to go on, right? So, and I think that's really what a religion is. There's lots of different religions, all interpreting the same thing that follows quite similar narratives that have very similar variables tied into it. But it's all pretty much based on this human instinct that there's something more out there, something beyond us. It's probably only recently that that people have found themselves in a place where it's like, no, this is just it. We live, we die, and that's it. I think that's a recent thing. I really do. I think that's
very recent
in human history.
I mean, also, but if you think about it, also, guys, paganism is a form of one, a god of the gaps, and two, atheism, right?
Oh, is it?
Because remember, what are pagan gods, right? They're from the primordial stuff of the universe. They're material beings, right?
Oh.
So they exist as a form of naturalism, right? It's I can't explain fire, so this god made it. It's a god of the gaps, right? I can't explain it, so let's leave it to him, right? And but they're material, right? They're a race of things. They were created. The theogonies. There's never creator gods in these things. It's just primordial chaos, right?
Yeah.
So they are material. They are a form of materialism.
Wow.
If you think about it that way. Stephen Hawking, when he mentions that kind of thing, is really talking about Greek gods. He's not talking about the Christian God. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just want to point out that I accept all religions, so.
Sure. I mean, there's an element of truth in everything.
I've dabbled with like Hindu. I dabbled with like Buddhism. I was trying to find something, right? Like, I think everybody wants to find something that makes them feel good, right? Like,
totally.
There's chaos in Greek. There's a primordial chaos, and then you have Gaia, and you have Kronos. I mean, but they are still in the world. They're not. They're not of. They're not. The Christian God is beyond creation. That's not at all in the Greek gods. There's nothing beyond creation. There's chaos, but what the hell is that?
Hmm.
You know
Were
what I
they
mean?
interpreting the same thing that we're talking about, though? Like the Christian God, is that just their interpretation of it?
Well, the closest they ever got to what would be close to the Christian God is when Aristotle hit on the unmoved mover. Right? That's the closest, right? That there has to be something at the bottom of everything. That there has to be a bedrock in all this flux, right? Because it can't be flux all the way down.
Totally.
You know, when he talked about contingent being, right? Not necessarily causality on a straight line, but contingent being straight down. So like what's being maintained in being from moment to moment. There has to be something that's maintaining that all the way up. So oxygen, atmosphere, lungs, blood flow, heart, muscles, neurons. I mean, all that stuff is happening at the same time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's not incredibly complex.
Yeah, not in a causal temporal sense. Make sense? Like your mom, your dad, you, grandfather.
What are your thoughts, Wolverine? You're quiet over there, and I feel like you've got a contrasting point of view that could mix things up a little bit.
I feel that religion and the belief in God is the greatest evil that mankind has ever done in itself. And while I cannot prevent anyone else from believing in whatever flimsy fairy tales they choose to, if I could, I would.
Yeah. Very contrasting.
I only know one truth.
Clayton?
I only know one truth in this universe, and that is I don't know, and neither do you.
Yeah, but that's a self-detonating statement, Wolverine.
It's the only one that I can believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I don't need anything more than the acknowledgement that I don't know and neither do you. That's
cool.
all I need.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
I would rather just admit I don't know than try to believe something that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you can know to a degree.
But
because we do know things, Wolverine. It's not that we don't know
anything about after death, because the only ones who could know that are dead. And I don't believe in people coming back to life from the dead beyond medical resuscitation, which has a very small window.
But we don't know what death is. We've labeled death as a category. We don't know what it is.
We know it in its biological, physical
like we know what
probably.
the process is that happens, and the repercussions as those of us who are still alive can perceive it.
Yes.
But that's all we can know, really.
Yeah.
Because we're alive.
When you say you know that you don't know Wolverine, and that's
this is going down a rabbit hole.
and that's good for you, right? Doesn't that
every
kinda,
once in a while I play the game of theorizing, but I don't believe any of it. They're just ideas.
But you don't know that those ideas aren't true. So that kind of leaves the door open for you a little bit, and that's okay enough for you. I think that's a wise way of being.
I am firmly convinced that there is nothing like any kind of God or the kind of afterlife that people tend to think of.
Let me put it to you this way, Wolverine.
I think and would like to believe that there's something after death, but
Wait. Let me ask you this, Wolverine. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you think that there's something higher on the food chain
than man?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot. Although I suppose it kind of depends on what you mean by higher in the food chain.
I mean, do you believe that there's something out there in outer space that could reach down and obliterate mankind?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, we could do that.
No, so I'm sure saying that's bigger.
I'm sure that there are things that certainly could if we can.
See, I look at death, right, and it's almost it's like our understanding of death. We've become very comfortable in thinking that we die, we get buried, we rot away, and that's it. And that's a very comfortable human understanding of what death is, because we can see it, and we can we can feel it, we can sometimes smell it, and touch it if we want to. And that's
Please
our
don't fuck it.
understanding of death, as perceived through the human senses. But then I'm like, well, okay, that seems too easy for me. Like, it's too easy to be convinced of that. So I go, well, what if there's something beyond just that human perception and those five senses, only those five senses that I can experience that through? What if there's something beyond what the beliefs, our general human beliefs might be? If
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes me go.
I would
I don't know.
like I said, I would like to think that there might be something after one dies. The idea that just the cessation of existence is a really sucky idea. I understand why people don't like it. I don't like it. I like to think that there are that there are a myriad of other options in the gradation between you die and just cease to exist, or you die and go to heaven and be with God. There are lots of
weird that we don't like
variations
it,
of
in a way.
options between there.
The one thing that, like, my biggest problem with religion and everything it entails is that it says you have to be a good person in order to get to a certain place, right? You have to live a certain way. You have to do a certain thing in order to get to a good place. Otherwise, you go to hell, right?
Well, that's one of the problems
And
with
you
all
should
the
be a good
Abrahamic
person because you want to
religions
be a
is
good
they're
person.
all
Like,
just basically death cults.
it shouldn't be based on a God or anything else.
I see it this way: if God is love, if God is your Father, and He gives you the opportunity out of free will and love to ignore Him and do what you want and go your way, it's not His fault if you feel an absence. Because He is the source of love, right? So if you're going away from the source, by default, you're going to be in hell. It's not a matter of
You're
going
predicating
to hell.
your argument on a lot of assumptions.
No, but this is logic I'm talking about. If God is a source of love,
that's a first assumption.
Exactly. If that is the case, and you have free will to love this thing, this
that's
person,
another assumption.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you go away from it, I'm saying that we're not talking about just, hey, you did this, you go to hell. Naturally, if you turn away from love, you're going to be in hell.
Well,
it's not a nice feeling.
How true is it, right, that when in our lives, let's say that let's take a classic.
I don't mean to disrupt the flow, but I gotta get going.
Good night,
I'm
Jay.
amazed you lasted this long.
Yeah, I just didn't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation, but
Yeah, it's a good conversation. Like, I wish more people would have it.
Yeah.
Well, y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thanks for coming on,
later,
Jason.
Bye.
Bye.
So let's say you take like a classic sin, like let's say it's something like simple, like lying or stealing someone else's shit. It's like, well, in a way, your life may become more disrupted, and it may lead to, say you stole your friend's car or something. Maybe they hate you now, and you feel sad and bad about it, and now you no longer have a friend. In a sense, that might be a form of living hell, depending on what they meant to you. Or let's say you lie. Well, we all know that what that can lead to, like it just grows into this giant thing. Sometimes, especially when you're found out.
I feel that the basis of this argument is kind of massively. Oh shit! I just blanked on a word. Disingenuous. Because presumably, we're coming at this from a Christian standpoint. Because
I'm quite a spiritual person. I wouldn't say I'm religious.
Will is a Christian,
and
has said so many times. And there are a lot of theological, philosophical swirls that have over the centuries or whatever played the game of, oh well, but what if hell actually is this other thing? When if we're going to follow the religion, if we're going to look at the religion and consider it, we have to base it by what it gives us to base it on, and what it gives us to base it on is not Hell is separation from God. Hell is not the repercussions of your actions, like losing a friend or your dad not, associating with you. It's eternal horrific punishment forever and ever, and there's never a chance at redemption. And that's love.
Yes, it is actually.
No, it's
Yes, it
not.
is because you're not being
It
you're
could
not.
potentially be
No,
love
because you're
if
not a
there was
robot,
ever a
Wolverine.
chance for redemption.
No, if you didn't have that option to go to hell, you'd be a robot.
I don't believe that.
And you can't love
I
somebody.
can't
You
agree with
can't
that.
love without free will. So if you want to go to your room and do your own thing, no matter what happens, you have that option. That is love. Just like you have children,
Yes,
you can't force them to love
but
you. You can't force them to behave.
but if
You
the
can
only
only say,
but if the inevitable repercussion of my deciding I want to go in my room is my father then lights my room on fire, but I can never die and can never escape.
Well, is hell literally that? Is
yeah,
that
like he
what,
doesn't light
or
your
is it
room on
more of a
fire.
metaphor?
He just leaves you alone. And leaving you alone is hell enough.
There's not a whole lot in biblical text that says anything about that. There's a lot of mentions of lakes of fire and the torment of the damned.
Is that like? I mean, humans talk like that all the time. Like, if if you don't like do this or that, it'll be shit. But it's not going to literally be shit, right? You know what I mean? Like, oh man, you'll or, so we talk in metaphors a lot,
Oh
I
yeah.
think. And I can imagine people back then when the Bible was written. It's like, all right, like if you do this bad shit, I mean, you may as well be in a lake of fire. But who knows, right? But I can see them.
Yeah,
I can
but I
see
mean,
them in their everyday language talking that
you
way
are
a
you are
lot.
entirely correct about the metaphorical speech, but we don't have anything to base what is and what isn't someone using hyperbole. We only have
Yeah,
what's
it's
written
difficult.
down.
It's what's
What's written
difficult
down
about
by
it.
people who wrote it down a few hundred years after somebody's friend's cousin's uncle's girlfriend's ex-wife told them a story about something that someone told them once. We have no idea what they meant by that, or if they were being literal or not. And again, none of this particular topic has anything to do with with my belief or not. This is just a theological
Yeah, yeah.
tennis thing that is easy to toss up because it came up in the course of what Will was talking about.
It's interesting. Well, I think there's definitely connections you can draw back to it.
Yeah, I mean you can debate on what might be this or what might be that, but we don't have enough information to really lock it down.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
there's so
Sometimes I
little
wonder.
surviving text that we only have what we have.
Sometimes I wonder if the original writers of the Bible would laugh at many of us who follow it these days and go, no, 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 that's not what we meant. We didn't mean that.
Mm.
This would literally happen. We didn't mean that Moses literally parted the sea.
It's hard to
I mean, maybe
say.
he did. Maybe he did, but it's
Maybe it would
difficult
be a
to.
little easier to say if like they didn't hide parts of the texts away and go, no, not that part.
Well, that's true too, right? And that's
You know,
very
just like
interesting.
release all of it. Maybe it'll be helpful,
See,
maybe not, but it would be nice.
my thing is this: just be a good person, do right by people, and like live by example. You
Yeah,
know,
you
Totally.
need no deities for that. Don't be a dick.
just live
I've
by example. Be
I
a
don't
good
know, guys,
person. It's
because
not that
I've
hard.
always said I'm not a good man, but I'm a good guy.
I don't know, guys, but maybe killing all of you might be good for me.
But see, that's
Why
what's
would
good
you?
for
Well, that
me,
is
not
why we're
what's
I would
good
saying.
die.
for people.
But you get what I'm saying, though. Like, this is a matter of opinion, what you guys are talking about. Just be cool. Just do it. No.
Well,
What
we
if
know
being
that
cool to
going
me
out and murdering and
is
robbing is
enslaving?
not
No, but
okay.
what
It's
if
not right. There's
what? If,
laws
oh,
against
no,
it.
no, you brought up the word right. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
Okay. You're talking about something now. You're talking about a standard. All right. Just simply saying, do what's cool. What's cool for me is enslaving all of you. Is that
But see,
right?
but the difference is you're talking about what's cool for you. We're talking about what's cool in general, like for
Okay. Well,
everybody.
that's a standard, Wolverine.
Yes,
Yeah, it's kind of
we
what Will's
need
getting at
standards,
too.
but we don't need a deity to
I don't
have
know, but wait
standards.
a
We can
minute.
agree
No, no,
what
no. Wait,
standards
no, wait
are.
a minute. If it's beyond you, If it's something that's a standard, that is a truth is true today, tomorrow, the day after, years from now. That means it's beyond your perishable being. If it's beyond your perishable being, it's eternal. If it's eternal, it's a concept. Concepts exist in minds.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't exist in nature. So what I'm telling you is simply saying be cool and let's just agree on something, that's an agreement. That's not a law. That's not a moral imperative. I can simply just say
there are a few things that are timeless because everyone at their core agrees with them. I don't want someone to physically hurt me. Everyone, beyond the people who are like you, I like to be beat, I like to be spanked. Beyond that,
You
like
don't really want to hurt
I
other
don't
people,
want to
right?
be, I don't want someone to
I mean, even
physically
Satanists have
just
a
beat
standard,
me.
right? Their
No
I
one
agree
standard.
wants
with
to
you,
be
Wolverine,
beaten to
because
death.
God writes it on your heart. I agree.
Well,
But
no, because it hurts.
yes, it hurts, but it's also wrong. You want a sense of justice around it, right?
It's wrong because no one wants to be hurt.
And well, no, but
Slavery
it's
is wrong because no one wants to be a
but
slave.
it's unjust because I can be hurt in good ways. You know what I'm saying? Like for
Yes,
example,
but the
working out,
desire,
lifting weights.
but you see that's a root. The desire, I don't want to be hurt, leads to he doesn't want to be hurt. Which, since we have empathy, we can associate that or that together.
Yeah, but you
And
can use empathy to hurt people.
so suddenly you and I agree. I don't want to be hurt. You don't want to be hurt. We shouldn't hurt each other because that would be wrong.
Yeah, but what if I want to be in charge?
Well, then you've broken the covenant.
There is
A
some
covenant? What do you
religions like
mean?
that, right?
What covenant?
The social understood covenant
So the
that
feather pen
all
law.
social niceties depend on. All society
Is it time to
depends
yell titty
on,
titties?
on agreements and understandings between people.
Only if Wolverine or Will get upset. Otherwise, I say let it go.
No, but I guess I'm trying to make a point here about an eternal standard, right?
I don't know.
Otherwise,
that there is an
it's just
eternal
our
standard.
opinions. It's not right. It's just an opinion.
Basically, yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It dies with you.
What if you're both
because
right?
everybody has these basic desires to not have
What a
pain and
hell of a
suffering in
rabbit
their
hole we
life.
went down.
So it goes beyond me because the next person also has that desire to not have pain and suffering in their life.
Yeah, I don't want to get hurt, so I kill you so I don't have to get hurt.
Yeah, but then
Or I rob
everyone,
your stuff.
but then
or-
everyone else goes, you killed that guy because it was convenient for you. You might kill me, so we kill you.
No, but my tribe
And
just
this is the
predominates over
cascade.
you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then the other tribes look at you and go, well, maybe we should kill that tribe who killed those tribes over there because it was
Now
good
do you
for
see
them.
why the human race has fallen?
Well,
We've
yeah,
been doing
that's-
that ever
Yes,
since.
we have.
There you go.
But as societies have progressed, we have put a lot of that in check.
I mean, Michael
For
T's
the-
got a point. The Code of Hammurabi was inscribed before the Ten Commandments.
Yeah,
True,
because
true story.
because
Because
if
everyone has simple wants.
no, because I do not buy that morality is simply a momentary thing. It's an eternal thing. Of course, it exists in the mind of Hammurabi.
What is morality really? And what gives us that? Now, there's an argument, right? So,
Morality is
it
reason made practical.
biological? Did it evolve with us, or is morality just the the guidance from that, or the set of guidelines from that divine being that is interweaved into humanity?
Yeah, reason made practical.
Which would mean that Wolverine and Will are both talking about the same thing essentially. Right.
On a certain level, yes.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, most religions, right, not counting ones like Hindu and Buddha or Buddhism, but like most religions worship one God.
Or they started worshiping one God.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the last.
Yeah.
In the
So
last
I mean,
18 to
technically,
2000
it's
years.
all the same God.
All
the
these
same
languages have a
deity.
word for God.
I mean, Muslims have Allah, which is God. Like we all worship a God of some sort.
Usually, well, it goes back to what I was talking with Clayton about. It's usually trying to deduce the nature of God through. It always goes into the dead end of mythology, and it is a dead end. The Iliad is sort of like the ultimate expression of that dead end, right? Until you get the pre-Socratics who break the dead end. and go into like
Mhm.
past anthropomorphic gods into ultimate reality, and they break into logos, right? And understand that there's a logos as opposed to a guy, like a Zeus or something, right? What is the ultimate reality? It's an organizing principle. Well, what is that? Is it just an organizing principle of arithmetic? Is it an organizing principle of architecture? Well, if there is a good of all things, there must be the good, by which we judge all goods based on. So think of it this way: in
Yeah, totally.
Wolverine, there's a right and wrong way to do things. You know, good and bad anatomy. There's a level of perfection you're trying to reach. That's up here. It's a maximal quality, right? And then there's a minimal quality. There's sin, if you will, which is a Greek word for missing the mark. You miss the mark when you fuck up the anatomy, right? And then you get higher and higher to your maximal idea of perfection as you get better at your craft, because what you're doing is going upwards, not downwards. So when you think, so there's the good of art, as there's the good of mathematics, the good of architecture. But think of it this way: there's a good for each of those categories. There's the good that all these things bend into. What is that? That's what the Greeks asked. What is the good? And they called that logos, right? The organizing principle of the universe.
I think Wolverine was kind of talking about that. Like people see the difference between right and good.
Kind of, but no.
Clayton, what were you asking about morality?
What about it?
What was your question about morality? Whether it was something
it was more of a question in a statement almost, which is we say morality is essentially our internal compass of what is right and wrong. And then my question beyond that is, well, what puts that there? Is it simply human evolution? Have we fucked up enough times that we've created this internal compass? Or is that internal compass governed by a higher, more divine being that really just wants us to live in harmony with each other, to love one another, to do the right thing, so that we can essentially not only, if there's an afterlife, not only go to heaven, but also live a heaven-like life where there's still challenges, but from those challenges come wonderful feelings of triumph, fulfillment, and basically living out your life in the most fulfilling manner possible. Because the other alternative to that is if you lived a life of sin, that would make life significantly more difficult, even agonizing for you. And there's plenty. I mean, you can look at the outcome of many people who have lived their lives in a sinful manner, and how that's turned out for them. It rarely does it turn out to be sunshine and roses. It's usually not.
And by the way, Clayton,
yeah, it's interesting.
It's important to define the word sin. Like I said, sin is an archery term. It's a Greek word.
Well, I would say something that goes against our own good.
Well, no, but sin literally means just going off center, right?
Yeah, pretty much. There you go.
So there's an idea that there's a center of something, whatever it is. You could sin at art, right? You can commit an art sin. You can commit a fashion sin.
We all sin.
But it's because there's a mark to hit.
I think as well, people got to give themselves a break too, because sin is clearly a part of the human condition. We do fuck up,
but it drives you to hit a more maximal idea of perfection, right?
It does, and we're able to tell.
Better.
Yeah, and we go, okay, well, that didn't work out, and it didn't feel great. So hopefully, I can learn from that. Hopefully, I can become a more evolved, better human being from it, and that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, if you want to see it that way, if you want to see it in secular terms, it works both ways.
The thing, like with like your question there, Clayton, morality is subjective to change, right? It changes from person to person. We all have a different set of morals that we view in our life. Like a certain standard.
That's
according to Will. We all have a certain standard that we live by. Not everybody lives by that same standard.
There are certain basics that are mostly universal.
Well, we go against it.
When you boil them all down, like really to their basics, it's don't kill each other.
Do no harm, right? It's like a universal standard we all have.
Do no harm is even many steps above don't kill each other. If you boil it down to just that one center, don't kill each other, or else everyone's going to kill each other, and there'll be no more people.
Yeah, and even though someone's
Beyond
moral
that, the
compass
more
might be like,
complex moral code you want to talk about, the more fractured and different people are going to be.
How did we get down this rabbit hole, y'all?
Because we're smart people, that's why.
Yeah,
it's a nice rabbit hole.
But to try to answer Clayton's actual last question, I think morality is basically just an expression of empathy, mixed with learned behavior taught by your elders.
So do you think before we developed empathy, we were more?
Like a sociopath, someone without empathy, has no morals.
Empathy is not at all a moral thing. It's a very ambivalent thing, though, because you can be
but without
sociopath.
empathy, you generally don't have moral.
No, but psychopaths can be empathetic because it's all it is just trying to be able to figure out what's in somebody's head. That's what it is.
But they aren't by reflex.
You know what I mean? Like you can be highly empathetic but immoral.
Inborn leaning toward morality. And
morality is an intellectual thing.
I mean, it also has to be trained. There are places where you can find, if you know how to look, places where often because of catastrophe or war or something, and a lot of them, you have bands of small children who have no adults, and it's just these feral fucking kids. They have no morality, nor any concept of morality.
Yeah,
they are totally fucking wild animals. They have not been taught anything.
So is morality a societal thing then?
However, though, those kids. But why are those kids traumatized?
Some of them aren't. I mean, like they're just living like animals.
Well, yeah, but they are traumatized from what they're doing. These kids will never be normal. They'll never be. They're not happy children. Being enslaved by warlords and killing, their fellow man. You know what I mean? They're going to be traumatized because they know in their hearts it is wrong and it's going to hurt them.
I don't believe that.
Oh, I do. Because why would it bother you otherwise?
Why would it bother me?
Yeah, why would it bother anyone?
You can go against the moral compass. So, like, I get where Lola is coming from.
Against my moral compass.
Some people live their lives, but when they kill, even though it's okay for them to kill and it's very natural for them to kill, they still understand that what's happening is a bad thing, at least for the person being killed. So I think that people. I think when you go against the moral code, what tends to happen is it's at the detriment of somebody else, and if it's at the detriment of somebody else, and even yourself, but then again, you can sacrifice yourself and that kind of thing for the betterment of somebody else. So I think it's really more when you take an action that is at the detriment to someone else, then that's going against the moral code, and that goes beyond whether or not it makes you feel bad or good.
Do unto others.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I think that's why that rule is so great. So many of those commandments, actually, if you actually do live your life by them, whether or not you believe in Jesus and in God and stuff, if you just take those guides for what they are,
here's the thing:
you'll live a pretty solid life.
Here's the thing, Clayton, both of you, Wolverine. I don't believe. I'm not saying that atheists cannot be moral people. I think they truly can. I've seen atheists more moral than the average Christian a lot of the time. That's because I believe that it comes from God. That's why. If I didn't believe an atheist could be moral, I'd be full of shit.
Yeah, I agree with you, Will, actually. I think it does come from that place.
But you get what I'm saying, though, Clayton, right? I'd be full of shit if I said, well, because you're an atheist, you can't be moral. No, all people are moral. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're saying that's coming from God. Let's make it simple. That's coming from...
It doesn't matter what your religion is. It's in you. You were made that way.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's why I would say I'm definitely more spiritual than I am religious, because
what we're talking about. You're born that way?
Yeah, you have a spirit. You have an eternal essence. If you want to
I
get
think-
Aristotelian on it,
I think I'm drawn. Yeah, I'm drawn to that kind of stuff. I am.
you have
drawn.
it. You have an essence. We have a form. We see forms in nature. We have forms that are immaterial that we stole from somewhere else.
Somebody help me.
Mathematics is a form that exists
Wolverine's
nowhere
like,
in nature.
It's funny because
that comes from here.
I have conversations with friends, and so often I feel like my
just
friend
laughing
is
at Lola's
Wolverine. My friend is Wolverine, and I'm Will in the conversation, and I have so many conversations like that. And
I apologize.
I love
Lola,
it because my friends make sense, but I also make sense, and it's a great conversation.
I apologize, Lola, for hijacking your stream. So
No, it's all
here's
good.
what I
It's all good.
propose.
This is good conversation. Like,
Here's what I propose, Lola. I suggest you take it back to close it out with something saucy, and we should sound off with something saucy and close the night with something saucy and basic and low frequency.
I actually got to head off now, guys.
To put everyone to sleep.
Although if it makes
I'm
you feel
gonna
any
do-
better, Clayton, I've been using Wolverine since like 1984. At this point, it's as much as my name as Owen is.
Thank you,
hell yeah,
Michael
that's
T. I know I just imitated Yoda.
That's so cool.
Luminous beings are we.
Hey,
Not the crude matter.
I'll catch you guys later. This was a great
All right,
conversation.
Clayton, it's good to finally
Clayton.
well, we've
mind
actually
meld
been
with you.
going for 2 hours and 10 minutes, so I'm probably gonna call it here anyway.
Nice.
Like, if you want to just wait for just
Okay.
one.
Let's close out together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we went down some crazy rabbit holes tonight, and I enjoyed that. And
We're
you
men.
guys are
we're
awesome.
Made to, we're made to go down holes.
Everyone that's
I like going down holes. It feels good.
and we get a boob date at the very end.
At
The
the
dude
very
literally
end,
walked
friend,
in, like-
that's me, friend till the end. Heidi ho.
Yes, friend.
So all I'm gonna say is I did say titties at some point in the conversation.
Shut up, bitch.
So go
You
check
did.
out that Goblin Girl.
Yeah, Goblin Girl.
Yes, friend.
Everybody needs to go sign up for Goblin Girl. Everybody needs to go get Kozar.
What's going on?
Kozor. Absolutely.
Kozar.
We are ending Dan Plagle.
Why are we ending? What the hell's going on? I just got here.
Well, your ass is late. We've been talking for 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Yeah, we
What
got
are you
deep,
talking
man.
about?
Religion.
Oh, dude, you'll have to watch it back. It's amazing.
Actually,
What?
Dan, we knew you were coming in, and we decided to end early because we're like, here comes
Yeah,
Plagle. We got to move.
But look, Makini's got some good art over here.
He's trying to
Mikey does have
he's
some
trying
good
to
art.
update you, Dan.
He doesn't
Look.
have to try very hard, friend. Look at that shit. The water
Nice
is
water.
fantastic.
I think we need to
Sorry
end
for
it on
quiet.
Makini's picture right here. Don't you guys think so?
We may need to
So-
rename him
Perfect.
Ass Makini.
Remember, Frega June, every
Frega
Monday,
June?
Wednesday, Friday.
Pikachu.
Put in your suggestions at the Pink Bunny, nose.
Bunny says so.
Pink Bunny says so, and you could win a piece of art by the famous Dan Frega, like the one he showed tonight of Snake Eyes.
Like
If
the
you
one
want
Jason
that,
has, but he can't show because he's not here.
exactly.
I
So
pulled a
if
muscle
you
in my groin, friend. Oh, hurting so bad right now.
and you can see
Can't win
Boob
that
Dan.
on
Yeah, what
Frega
have you
June.
done?
Ooh, look at that. I like the shadow
Plagle.
work.
The boobs aren't big enough though for Plagle.
They're big enough.
Leah's in the chat, yo.
Hey,
Hi,
Hey,
Leia.
She
Leah.
is. She's gonna be bummed out because we were talking and I cut it short with her so I could come and say hello to you guys, and now you're making me look awful.
Yeah, but you just said hello, so you accomplished your objective.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
True.
this is cheap.
You have peaked early, and now
I'm
this
having
I
to work
love
somebody
Leah,
else's
though.
shit,
I love
and now I
Leah.
can't even chat with people.
I wish you were here today, Plagle, so you could have drawn
That
Snake
blue
Eyes.
bottle. The
I
snake
love
eyes.
you too, Leah.
I would
like
only
to-
draw the
Hey,
snake
Leah.
eyes from the originals.
I would have loved to have seen your Snake Eyes.
These look really
I have
good,
no
Magani.
interest
I'm gonna
in
close it
modern
out
snake
now. Thanks everybody for coming by.
This is
Thanks, Lola.
Stay tuned. This is tomorrow's video. This will be Thursday's video.
All right.
Thank you,
If that's any inclination to get you guys to subscribe, yeah, if you want to see how these two go from start to finish, check out my channel. This will be Tuesday's video. This will be tomorrow's video. This will be Thursday's video. So
Subscribe
Yes, sir.
regardless. The man is good. You need to
Yes,
is
subscribe.
amazing.
Marketing is awesome. He's all over the place these days.
That
So
Princess Peach, is that a Princess Peach?
that is Princess Peach, and the
Yeah,
other is
that is-
Princess Rosalina, and I will do Princess Daisy next.
Now, Princess Peach, that's a nice piece. The
That's
colors are
certainly
beautiful
a
on that.
peach. Yeah.
Anybody see my Venom Cecil?
Yes, very good.
yes, I did.
With his
It
penis
looked
and
really
everything.
good.
His penis is wrapped up really tight.
So, you're a sick
I
man.
never
Clayton.